Well, hello boxing fans, welcome to the Altrincham Ice Dome, where we've got a huge night of championship boxing coming up for you live on DAZN. Brilliant main event, brilliant fights to get stuck into, but I just want to take a moment at the top of this show to talk about a man who most certainly would have been here this evening. Boxing has lost one of their own quite recently in the great Frankie Hopkins, and I've got Ryan Garner, one of his proteges, with me. And Ryan, just a word on what a loss that is to boxing, what an impact he had on your life. Yeah,
like you said, he had a massive impact on my life. Since I turned pro at 17, yeah, I never had a bigger fan than Frank Hopkins. You know what I mean? Anyone who spoke to him, I'm sure that they've told him, he's always bigged me up, told them how good I am. And it's just such a shame. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame. Obviously, we got so far together, and it's a shame that we didn't get fulfilled. Hopefully, be a world champion together with him there in my corner. But I can't thank Frank enough for what he done for me, not just in my career, but in my life as well. Joe, he was a massive part through the ups, through the downs. He was always there fighting my corner, so I'm gutted, really, mate. Yeah,
I mean, rest in peace. You know, very nicely said. Rest in peace, Frank Hopkins. Okay, so let's get into it. Altrincham Ice Dome. I mean, the main event tonight is something so special. A mouth-watering collision in the super lightweight division. Jack Rafferty, 26-0, unbeaten, British and Commonwealth champion, defends his crown against the man not so long ago known as His Excellency Turkey Yellow Shake's favourite fighter in Mark Chamberlain. I've got Ryan Garner, who we've spoken to already. He's with me, as is the Nightmare from Scotland, Nathaniel Collins. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good. I love this, by the way. We're in Altrincham. You've made the trip from Southampton. You've come down from Glasgow. I've come from Chatham. This is the home of boxing this weekend.
This is it. This is a meeting point.
Nathaniel, so this is the first time we've spoken to you this week about this whole show. Talk to me a little bit about the main event. What are you expecting from Rafferty and Chamberlain later tonight?
Fireworks. It's a proper clash of styles, and both of them are big punchers. Both of them are come forward fighters and aggressive. So it's got all the makings of a bit of a barnstormer.
And that's kind of what we've been anticipating all week. Ryan, you've been around it, you were at the press conference, at the weigh-in as well. What are your kind of feelings now heading into it?
Like you said, it's a very, very good fight. It's hard to pick and choose. Like, obviously, you've got to favour Jack Rafferty because he's a bigger man naturally. He's been at the weight longer. He's on a run, do you know what I mean? He's fighting in his hometown. But you've got Mark here who wants to prove a point. He wants to come back and he wants to be back in the spotlight, back in the limelight, winning titles. So it's going to be a good clash of styles, mate.
Of course, the British and Commonwealth titles on the line. We've got a couple of... You had the British and Commonwealth titles. You are British and Commonwealth and European champion. Nathaniel, just when you held those belts, how much did you cherish those belts?
Yeah, definitely. It's the same as if you hold anything. You don't want anybody to come and take it off you, and you know that's yours. And I think the British is even a bit more added to that because you need to have them 3 defences of it. So that's like a bit more to the pot where you're like, I need to keep a hold of this, because eventually you want to keep it outright.
Yeah, and I think that's very much the plan for Jack Rafferty. He wants to not just win tonight, but carry on and get that belt outright. Is that kind of your plan? You're British champion as well, but you're being linked with bigger fights as well, aren't you, Ryan?
Yeah, listen, it's always chopping and changing what's going to happen in the future. We've got things in the pipeline. I'd love to win outright, whether it happens or not, but hopefully, mate, that's like you said, like Nathaniel said, every fighter wants to win the British outright. But if bigger things come on the horizon sooner, then so be it, but we'll just see what happens when it comes to it.
See what happens. And Nathaniel, one of your old belts is actually on the line tonight. Yes, one of your old opponents, Zach Miller, Commonwealth champion, defends his title against Leon Woodstock. Have you seen much of the kind of build-up? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I've seen the build-up. Interesting to say the least. You know, I like Zach. We're actually good pals now that we've finished and had our rivalry, and I've not seen much of Leon Woodstock. I think I've seen his fight with Kurt Walker, and you know, he performed well in that, so that looks like it's going to be a tasty fight as well.
And what did you make of the kind of balaclava, the handcuffs, the jumpsuit? That's what's been going on this week, by the way, in case you haven't caught up on it. Leon Woodstock, in the build-up to this fight, has said that he has been in prison, in solitude. He has had balaclavas, handcuffs and all sorts going on. What have you made of that, Nathaniel?
It's just, you know what, that's mind games, and if that in your own head gets you ready for this and you have to pretend that you're locked in prison to get locked in on the fight, then I'm all for it. I mean, I'm the guy that wears the mask, so I can't really say much.
Very, very true. Both of you have sparred Zach Miller, right?
Yeah, he obviously you fought him and sparred him.
Of course.
He helped finish off my last camp before the Blotti fight. So recently I've sparred him. Yeah. So
what is it that he does well for you?
I just think he does all the basics very well. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't do nothing flashy, nothing. It does what he needs to do. He does what he wins fights. He's very fit. He's very sharp. So I think all the momentum's behind him in this fight. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's been more active, more than Leon, and he's on a roll. He's winning. So obviously he's just coming off a loss to Leon Woodstock. So you got to favour Zach in this fight.
And he probably gave you the toughest fight of your career so far, Nathaniel.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it that he did so well that night?
I don't know if we should go into that. No, like Ryan's saying, he's sharp. He is sharp. He does the basics right, and he is fit. I mean, you know, I probably made that harder for myself that night, and again, you have seen I'm capable of much more than what I put out that night. So, not taking anything away from Zach, but yeah, he's sharp. He does the basics well. He's got all the tools to outbox somebody comfortably. You've seen it in the Masood fight. Like, a lot of people thought that was going to be an easy Masood win, and he went in and done the business against a come forward aggressive fighter. Leon's a come forward aggressive fighter. It's going to be kind of a similar thing that he's going to have to work out.
Yeah, it looks like a brilliant fight. There's so much coming up tonight. That, of course, part of the main show later on DAZN, but we've got some prelim bouts. This is the prelim stream. Have a look at this. It all kicks off very shortly with the showman Henry Turner. He is back now, of course, fighting up at welterweight. Looks a whole new force up there. Stephen Cairns, the Irish takeover, he will be back. He will be in action against a former Midlands champion. An Olympic bronze medalist, Charlie Senior, has the second fight of his career. And then what about this? He calls himself the sexy one. Nelson Birchall will be in action tonight, and then we round off the prelims with Jack Power. I mean, fellas, anything catch your eye on there in particular?
Yeah, cracking. There's a cracking lineup there. Nelson Birchall, sparred with him, you know, quite recently. He's cracking kid. I'm sure he got a medal at the Europeans or the Worlds as a youth. Really good operator, and I think I seen his debut knockout, and it was like a hook to the body, uppercut combination. It was probably one of the better knockouts I've seen in a good wee while, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. Charlie Senior's fighting the guy I fought in my comeback fight, so he's a tough wee guy as well, and I think that'll be an interesting one because he likes to come and have a go and actually test you, so it's a good fight for your second fight.
So much to look forward to. Thank you. I think you're going to go and do some commentary, Ryan. Nice. Nathaniel, so go and make your way over, and let's head over. Let's watch some boxing. Let's head over to Thomas Triber.
Let's welcome to the ring, Ivan Blazovic.
Well, here comes Ivan Blazovic, the Bosnian, who's 9 fights into his pro career. He certainly knows his way around that boxing ring.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Henry the Showman Turner.
En route to the ring is Henry Turner, the 24-year-old from Hammersmith, and an absolute cracker of tonight's headliner, Jack Rafferty, a few months back. Since then, he's been back with a first-round knockout, and he'll be looking to do more of that this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the welterweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, 32 Red, and Unibet. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Darren Sargensen. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trimmed with white and weighed in officially at 146.9 pounds. Coming to us from Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina, he brings a professional record consisting of 8 wins, just 1 defeat, with 3 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Ivan Blažević. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing brown with pink and weighed in officially at 149.7 pounds. Hailing from High Wycombe, England, he has a professional record of 14 wins, just 1 defeat, with 6 of his 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBC International Champion, Henry the Showman Turner.
Those both know the rules, keep it clean, nothing low, watch your head. I want to say break, take a step back. Most importantly, defend yourself at all times. Best of luck.
Well, here we go then, the first bout of the evening in this action-packed, stacked card in Altrincham. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, Nathaniel Collins and Ryan Garner. Welcome along. In the grey and pink shorts we have Henry Turner boxing that southpaw stance against Ivan Blažević of Bosnia, who already finds himself stuck in that red corner and won't want to be there for too long. But it was a good lead hook over the top there from Turner. He's holding the centre of the ring nicely there, Ryan.
Yeah, mate, yeah. Like, he's got good judge distance from there. He's keeping his opponent in the corner. And he's good counter-puncher, Henry is. As you can see by that.
He just got through with a nice straight left hand, did Turner. But the Bosnian, Blažević, is nice and light on those toes. Got some bounce in those legs. And he's a good mover. So he's going to make Turner work for these shots, I'm sure of it. But he does find himself back in that corner once again, as Turner looks incredibly focused and determined in this comeback. His last fight ended in the first round. He won by stoppage. He has got some heavy hands, and I think he finds himself in a weight category which he's comfortable with. And Blažević just getting himself out of the danger zone and creating some space.
Yeah, it looks like Henry's just trying to draw his opponent on here and bring him into a big shot, but Henry's got to be careful because he's getting caught a few times.
Nice straight hand, straight down to the body there from Turner. Blažević staying busy, just giving Turner bits and pieces to think about. Hasn't necessarily given him anything to worry about so far. The Turner ever so slightly, just by the percentage, up in his tempo and doing everything correctly. And this is a good mature performance so far.
Yeah, I feel like Henry just needs to keep popping out his jab a bit more. Like, he started off at the start of the round using it more, but he's just looking for that one big shot at the moment. So I think he keeps bringing everything off that jab, and I'm sure as he brings him onto it, it counter like he is sometimes.
He's got good feet, has Turner, hasn't he, Nathaniel?
Yeah, definitely. He started sharp. He's doing the right thing. As a southpaw, keeping that foot on the outside, and not letting Blažević exit off to the left. So, yeah, he's doing well. Shot there.
So I think, see, like there he's there, and he's keep popping out the jab out and bring the big shots off that, I think.
Well, first round done and dusted. A bit of a feel out round there. Blažević did get through with a sloppy left hand of his, but Turner most definitely the one who caught him with the more eye-catching shots. And like you guys have been saying, it's about getting that jab out, isn't it? Because everything comes off of the jab.
None of the things there minus a couple of mistakes that they're about to make round and you're pretty and then you try to work out your opponent, but you know, like Brian saying a bit more on the jab, flow a bit more, just look at the big shots, using the power shots and playing down to the body there.
And Ryan, Henry Turner had that defeat to Jack Rafferty. He's come back, first round stoppage. It's not necessarily, you know, a massive comeback, but he looks confident, doesn't he? Look, he looks like he's in a good place.
Yeah, and I believe since the Rafferty fight, he's moved up to welterweight now. So he wasn't very comfortable at the weight at super lightweight. So now that he's moved up, he's obviously going to be more confident and obviously hopefully he'll carry the power. And then obviously it's less draining, obviously making the weight for him. And hopefully it should show in his performance here.
We're 24 years old.
Yeah, he's still young. Like you say, the loss of Jack Rafferty, he's young, 24. That's not detrimental to his career. Do you know what I mean? Now he's in a rebuilding phase, and he's going to want to get back up to the level that he was fighting at.
Well, this is fight number 16 for him, so he's moving along nicely in this pro game, which isn't for everybody. A good, strong start here from Turner, who's the aggressor on that front foot in the southpaw stance. Nice footwork there, just kind of bounced in, made Blažević miss with his feet. And then counted him, but he did get caught ever so slightly there on the tempo, and it might have just woken him up a tiny bit.
Like you say, he's just looking for that one punch shot at the moment. Do you know what I mean? He's leaving himself open at times. As we said before, I think he just needs to keep popping that jab out and then bring off the big shots onto it as he steps back.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a good shot.
He's throwing that jab, stepping back. He's making Blažević miss, and then he's not punishing that mistake because he's looking for the one big shot. So when he steps back, he needs to step back in with a bit of combination punching, I would say. Like good. So.
Nicely done there, and what you guys just pointed out is that's a prime example of it, because he lands that first shot really well, makes him miss, and from what you're saying is he needs to capitalise on that really quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And he's starting to open him up a bit now. Blažević looks like he's felt the power here, and he's still jerky, he's still moving, but he's getting caught a lot more cleanly.
That's a good shot there. Like I say, it's all one-sided in Henry's favour here, but he just needs to make sure it don't get caught with those super shots as he come in. Maybe move his head a bit more. He's not moving his head as he was at the start. But yeah, it's all one-sided at the moment. Do you know what I mean? The big shots are starting to come in now.
And Turner's confidence will grow because he's landing more, he's landed better shots, and like you said, I think Blažević has felt that power a little bit, and those feet are starting to slow down a bit, but he's still dangerous. He does throw a good shot. He might just be one explosive one, but Turner's just got to have his wits about him.
The body works lovely from him there. Sorry, Ryan.
No, you carry on.
And as he's getting opened up here, he doesn't look like he wants it, to be honest.
Now you always got to be careful when you come in. See with these journeymen, they're a bit gangly and they're a bit all over the place. So they're a bit. It makes you a bit complacent sometimes as you come in. They don't do what the normal fighter at the higher level do. Do you know what I mean? They're not as predictable. They're a bit unpredictable. They don't know what they're doing themselves. So you get caught as you're coming in. So just have got to be careful on that front.
These are super important fights, aren't they, Nathaniel? Fighting these guys who sometimes have got awkward styles, and let's not beat around the bush. I'm not saying in this case, sometimes they're there literally just to survive, and that can make a hard night's work for you, right?
Yeah, definitely, and this guy actually seems to be throwing back. You get the ones that don't throw back, and it's hard to open them up, it's hard to draw them out. You end up looking boring, you look like you're chasing it, whereas, you know, this guy's actually stepping in and throwing the shots, so it's giving Henry something to think about.
And psychologically, Ryan, does that wind you up when you've got something like that in front of you? Or how do you keep yourself switched on? Because I'm sure you faced a frustrating opponent or two.
Oh yeah, like you say, I bet the phone used to say he's done it a few times, and it'd be hard for Henry. Obviously, he's been fighting at a title level, fighting against people who's coming to win and they open up, and then they've opened as you connect. Well, if you're coming back when you're rebuilding again, it's coming up against a journeyman. So I bet it's frustrating in Henry's head that he's having to try draw the lead and counter.
We're all part of the game. And here we go into the third round of this one, scheduled for 8 in the welterweight division. If you're just joining us, welcome along.
Lovely straight left there.
Good.
And the bolo shot,
Yeah,
lovely.
That was a decent shot, and it looked like it's just knocked the wind out of Ivan Blažević.
That's the thing with these journeymen. They're as tough as they come to the head. As you can see earlier, Henry was hitting them with everything. But when you hit them to the body, it's hard for them to recover.
Yeah, and that's a great shot for the southpaw. Stands the bolo shot, and you know it's lovely.
And he's looking for it now, isn't he? Because he's landed it confidently twice. And Blažević finds himself on the canvas and he shakes his head and
he's done.
He's had enough.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
that
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 54 seconds of round number 3. Our referee in charge, Darren Sargensen, waves off the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, Henry the Showman Turner.
Well, a very well done to Henry Turner, back with yet another win, and a nice big smile on his face as he poses for pictures in the ring here at Planet Ice in Altrincham, and hopefully that is a sign of things to come, because we've got plenty more heavy-handed fighters making their way to the ring, so don't go anywhere. Impressive stuff indeed, and a brilliant way to kick the night off.
Great way, like you're saying, a lot of heavy-handed fighters on this card, so hopefully the fans get what they're looking for when they tune in here, and we get to see a couple more stoppages like that.
Let's hope so. But listen, you two haven't fought that long ago. I don't know how much time we've got before we go to our next fight. Ryan, a couple of weeks since your fight, how are you feeling? How is it not making weight and not having to diet? I bet it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to be here tonight, and not be me one getting in the ring, no pressure, no nerves, you know what I mean? And like you say, I was at the weigh-in yesterday. It's good to watch everyone else struggle but me. But yeah, so...
Well, always good to see you, whether you're inside that boxing ring or on the other side of it. This is what we've got coming up. We've got Stephen Cairns coming up just after, well, in just a moment actually. He is one heavy-handed fighter. The last couple of fights which I've done of his, they haven't gone on for too long. He throws a wicked body shot, and he's in against Kirk Stevens, which will be a good fight. And then Charlie Senior, who won bronze for Team Australia at the Paris 2024 Olympics, is in against one of your previous opponents, Nathaniel Collins. And then Nelson Birchall, one part of those boxing brothers, a trio of boxing brothers, in against Pedraza. And then Jack Power from Runcorn, who does some serious tickets, so there'll be some noise in here when he walks out later on. But then coming up on DAZN later on is Miller versus Woodstock. This has been quite the build-up really, and a lot of that has got to go to Woodstock, who is, well, if you haven't caught it, he's been in jumpsuits and handcuffs and balaclavas, and Yeah, he's really made a scene, and sometimes that can attract attention in the right way. So we look forward to that. Zach Miller, always good fun. And then, of course, Lewis Richardson, another Paris 2024 Olympian. He's in there against Artem Sparta. That is one tough dude. And then Jack Turner of Liverpool, who has knocked out 10 of his 11 opponents. He has got some seriously heavy hands, and he's always entertaining to watch. And one of my favourite things about Turner is I don't know if he realises how good he is yet, which is always nice to see. And then, of course, it's the big one. It's Jack Rafferty versus Mark Chamberlain. North versus South. Make or break.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Kirk, the Cinderella Man, Stevens.
Well, incoming is 35-year-old Kirk Stevens. He's been about in the pro game for a while, 12 fights deep in, former Midlands champion, always comes to fight, always brings it, and I'm sure he'll be loving being a part of this big show on DAZN this evening on an action-packed card. We look forward to seeing him back in action.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the Irish Takeover, Stephen Cairns.
And here he comes, the Irish Takeover, 23-year-old Irishman Stephen Cairns. He's got dynamite in both hands, and he takes this game very, very seriously. He's not here to take part, he's here to take over. And if you speak to him, or you spend any time with him at all, he doesn't take long to realise how much he wants to be at the top of this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the lightweight division, brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, 32 Red, and Unibet. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Mark Lyson. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with red and weighed in officially at 136.2 pounds. Coming to us from Telford, Shropshire, England, he brings a professional record consisting of 7 wins, 4 defeats with 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kirk, the Cinderella Man, Stevens. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing gray, green, and white and weighed in officially at 137 pounds. Hailing from Cork, Ireland, he is undefeated with 11 wins. 7 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Irish Takeover, Stephen Cairns.
Short a bit out there. Ended on the top there is good, you know. Okay, boys, putting all the rules. Obey my commands. Tell you to break clean. Okay, boys, touch gloves. Good luck to you, boys.
Well, here we go. Bout number 2 of the evening. Only 3 people left in that ring. Stephen Cairns boxing in those green, grey and white shorts in the orthodox stance, and Kirk Stevens in the black shorts with the red trim, boxing in that southpaw stance. And there is that signature left hook to the body, which Cairns has already started with. And Stevens just trying to rough Cairns up a bit there.
He's come up firing, isn't he?
He is.
Stevens, yeah, he's come up firing normally.
He's meeting him in the middle, isn't he?
They start off slow normally, but he's come up firing, so he's obviously very confident he's come here to come for the win.
Good defensive work there from Cairns, and then just whips in that left hook round the right glove of Stevens.
Just slowly taking his time when he can't here.
Good footwork there from Cairns, just makes him miss with his feet, then fires that left hook of his. Trained by Dave Caldwell, so most certainly in good hands.
It's a nice controlled start from Cairns, isn't it?
It is. He's just feeling his man out here.
That's it. It's an 8-round fight here, so he's just first round just feeling him out. And I'm sure as it goes on, he's going to go for the gears. But there's a great right hand there.
Good right hand straight down the pipe there from Stephen Cairns. And he just is putting it out there to us in the arena. Just kind of everything about him is that he's showing that he's in control of this, and he's trying to make sure that his opponent is aware of that as well. And Stephen still on that front foot. Just trying to find a way in more than anything, isn't he, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to old man him and, you know, make him think about what's happening, rush him, you know, grab and hold and throw them wee short shots. And, you know, Stephen Cairns is relaxed and it looks like he's just keeping his cool. His lead hands doing all the right things against the southpaw. He's throwing over that hook and stuff, over the jab. So, yeah, it looks like he's well in control.
Good shots to the body there from Cairns. And a slow and steady opening round in this bout. But 7 more rounds to go, so I'm sure we'll see him up the tempo, Ryan. I'm talking about Cairns there as the rounds go by.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's only the first round. It looks like he was just feeling him out. And then you can see by the end of the round there, he was slowly starting to get judge his distance better. And he was starting to unleash a bit there. So as it starts to progress on the fight, I think he'll start whipping them in, as you can see with the body shots towards the end. And Stevens didn't look like he liked some of them shots down below.
They certainly came with a thud. But a phrase which we use a lot is about getting your distance or gauging your distance. Nathaniel, so like for people listening, when we talk about fighters doing that, what are you doing and how long does that take you to kind of get where you need to be in terms of where your feet are?
Yeah, some people do it very quickly and others it takes a round or two to work it out. And the fights like this that are 8 rounders, you're not really in any rush. You know, 8s, 10s, 12s, you can take your time to work out what your opponent's doing. You know, Stevens is quite jittery, quite, you know, he's a wee bit all over the place, so it's hard to work that out. Opponents like that, even at like the last fight we were talking about with Henry Turner, he needs to, lovely shots. He needs to work out what's happening there, but, you know, we commented on Cairns before, and in Liverpool he's a vicious body puncher, and I expect to see that, you know, come out in this fight and definitely slow Kirk Stevens down.
Well, going back to what you were saying earlier on, Nathaniel, about he's a bit awkward, is Kirk Stevens. Sometimes they're the harder fighters to box, aren't they?
Yeah, by a mile. You know, Ryan said that about the boy in the last fight. When they don't know what they're doing, you can't work out what they're doing because it's not orthodox. It is unusual. It's possibly something you've never seen in the gym before. You're like, what is this guy doing? And it might take 2 or 3 rounds to work it out rather than just the one, or it could catch you totally off guard.
Well, Cairns putting his shots together nicely here.
He's very relaxed and very calm in there, Cairns, isn't he? You think he's just looking for that opening. He's slowly taking time. He knows he's got 8 rounds here, so he's not rushing nothing. But yeah, he's all around well schooled. You know what I mean? He's not crumbling under pressure. I think he's taking his time.
He's just extremely confident in his ability, Stephen Cairns. And I think when you go about your game in the way that he does, where he is the ultimate professional, he rightly so should be walking or getting through those ropes and feeling like that. And he kind of oozes that confidence in the right way. But Stevens still on that front foot, so he's not backing off or just trying to find somewhere to hide, is he?
No, and he's actually in very great shape himself, so that confidence in your own work comes from the work you've put in the gym, and the both of them are in incredible shape.
That's a good observation, he is.
I think a lot of the, difference here between these two is Stevens is trying to force it and force it and force it, whereas Cairns' work is comfortable, relaxed. He's not trying to force anything. He's not even loading up his shots at all, but they look powerful.
Nice body work there from Cairns.
I think he felt that he did there. But like I say, this is a good learning fight for Cairns. He's got an opponent here, he's going to come win, he's got an undefeated record, and he's not going to be someone who's going to bowl over. So he's going to give him rounds and he's going to make him think.
That's it. Stevens giving Cairns plenty to think about here. He's always on the move, he's always doing something. Those shoulders are always moving, his hands are coming out even if they're not throwing punches. But Cairns in full control, Nathaniel.
Yeah, these are the fights you want. You want a guy to come out and throw punches at you, and you can show, not just offensively but defensively what you can do. And he's doing that. His wee step back's lovely. He's whipping the lead hook over Stevens' jab, and all the shots he's throwing are pretty much spot on and accurate. And like I says, at the end of that last round, we've seen Cairns before, and he's a vicious body puncher, and he's showing that again in this round. And it looked like he'd hurt, or if not hurt, gave Stevens something to think about.
Ryan, how much or how far do you hold back a fighter like Stephen Cairns, he seems to be moving at quite a pace?
Yeah, he's a very good fighter. He's a good amateur. I don't think you can hold fighters like him back too long. And obviously he's from the Dave Caldwell gym. He's sparring good fighters in that gym. Do you know what I mean? So he's getting all them learning rounds in the gym sparring. So I don't think you can hold him back too long. You can't progress him too quick, but still he's a good fighter all round. He doesn't waste no shots. So I think, after this fight, you can start progressing him on a bit more.
Well, he's still got a live man in front of him, Kirk Stevens, who is constantly on that front foot, and he's always trying to find a way in, and he's getting through with bits and pieces. But Cairns does look the fighter who's more in control and is landing the more accurate thudding shots. And like you said, Nathaniel, he did call one of his fights in Liverpool at the end of last year, I think it was, and he's a vicious body puncher, and when he wants to let him go, he really can let him go. And just as I said that right hand came out of nowhere.
I think you need to give credit where it's due here for Kirk Stevens, because even though these shots are hard and thudding, he seems unfazed, and he is still pressing
tough,
forward.
Isn't he? Super tough.
And while it's not the most aesthetically pleasing or nice style to watch, it's getting the job done so far, and he is putting them together, and he's not.
Absolutely, there's some shots just like those two there from Cairns, but Stevens just keeps walking forward, doesn't he? He has a big inhale of air and then off he goes again. He is one tough guy.
It looks like Stevens is starting to feel it a little bit now, like the pace, and I think the body shots that Cairns has been landing, I think he's slowly starting to get to him a bit now.
And Stevens is getting caught a little bit more just as the kind of minutes go by in this fight. I guess for him, he just needs to just stay as alert as he possibly can and don't walk onto any of those big thudding shots which Cairns can throw so well.
Yeah, he looks like he put quite a few into them earlier rounds with Stevens. Like you say, he was coming forward, he was trying to put it onto Cairns, so he might put a bit too much into them earlier rounds. And I think as the rounds start going on now, he's going to start feeling it. I believe Cairns is going to get the job done earlier, I think.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it just looks like as Stevens makes his way in, and he just threw 4 or 5 shots at 20 seconds ago, that Cairns just seems to kind of neutralise those attacks. He soaks them up, doesn't he? And then he just goes back on the attack himself.
Yeah, and you know, Stevens is making the mistake, and he's not actually punching his way in. He's trying to kind of walk in and then punch when he gets there, and he's leaning in a lot. And you know, Cairns can just sit back and kind of watch and see what's happening because he's leaning in with his head, you know, like so there.
Shot, yeah.
He's got a cut on the top of his nose, Stevens.
Yeah, I think he's slowly breaking down Stevens. Cairns slowly breaking him down now. And I don't think with it too long, in a couple of rounds, you start seeing him wearing him down really, really good.
So when you do see someone, when you know you're wearing him down, you've got Reece Bellotti out of there in the 12th round in your last fight. Your last fight with Lee McGregor finished, was it the 5th round?
4th round.
4th round. I stand corrected. Can you see that you're starting to get to him? What is it about a fight which you can see? Is it their body language? Is it just like the way that they're breathing? What is it?
I think you can just generally tell if you've hurt somebody, whether they take a step back, they might go on the aggressive to try and cover it up, they might, you know, make a facial expression. It really is that simple. For me, Lee's legs took a dip and I knew, you know, it's kind of different thing to wearing somebody down, whereas Ryan kind of wore Bellotti down and got him out there late.
Yeah, Cairns will be able to tell that Stevens, compared to what he was in the first couple of rounds, he was coming forward more, he was more sharper, and now he's a bit slower on the attacks, and he's walking onto a lot more shots than he was earlier on. And I'm sure Cairns will start realising that, and now you see he's got a cut on the bridge of his nose, and he come back to the corner at the end of that round, a bit more slower than what he did earlier on.
He landed a good body shot there, Stevens.
He did, yeah. Sunk that in nicely.
Yeah,
I think it caught Cairns off guard a little bit, actually.
It did.
Oh, see, that was a good
lovely
shot. That was a good shot. He jabbed down to the body, then and brought it over the top there. That's what he needs to do. Slow head, body, head, and bring in the attacks there.
Well, he did get caught with that right hook over the top from Stephen Cairns, but
yeah, he kind of fainted to the body there to keep triggering him out, because like you say, he pulls his shots out that Stevens does, so Cairns keeps triggering it out and then counter as he throws out them sloppy shots back. There, like you do there, see, like just that little step back as he throws, because that Stevens tends to throw some lazy shots. Do you know what I mean? And then Cairns just needs to step that back and then counter there.
You know, lovely for Cairns is the punch variation. He probably threw every punch in the book there, but you know, it was a lead hook over the jab, then he slipped on the inside, and then he was deciding between a body shot and a lead uppercut, and you know, he's hitting with every shot that he wants to, really.
The good thing about Cairns there, he's so relaxed. He's just on the tip of his range, and he's so relaxed. He's not phased about what's coming back, and he's so relaxed there, and it leaves good openings.
you do get the sensation that Kirk Stevens is really feeling these shots down now.
Yep. Even when you see somebody complain about things like that.
But the referee's Mark Lyson's calling a count here. Kirk Stevens not happy with that, but he tells him he's happy to continue, and I'm sure Stephen Cairns will put his foot on the gas ever so slightly more now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that was a knockdown myself.
It wasn't a neck down, but it's just his whole body language. He kind of, do you know what I mean? He's getting a bit more lazy, if I'd like to say. I think he's starting to feel the pace here now, and the shots that have been landing are starting to take his toll.
Yeah, definitely. And it just looks like Stevens is putting a lot of effort into punching here, whereas Cairns is just
relaxed.
Yeah, he's.
And as Stevens is getting
more body shot.
fatigued, he's kind of falling into his shots in a bit of a sloppy way, isn't he? And that's where he's getting caught.
Like I said earlier, Stevens kind of pours his shots out, and it looks like it's so easy for Cairns just to take that step back and counter as he's been doing.
But a bit of showmanship there from Stephen Cairns. And as things stand, I'm not sure this is going to go the whole way, Ryan. What about you?
Nah, mate, as I said like a round ago, I didn't think it would take much longer. I said a couple of rounds it would actually take, because Stevens is starting to slow down, he's pouring his shots out, and now Cairns is starting to be able to unload even more, landing their power shots from body to and head, so it's starting to take its toll, mate. I don't think it'll be much longer, if I'm honest.
What's Dave Colwell saying to him, Nathaniel?
Probably just telling him, keep doing what you're doing, keep your cool, keep your distance. you know, if it was me, I would be saying he's starting to get a bit reckless, he's starting to fall in now, so just watch his head, watch his arms, watch his, you know, elbows and stuff, and Cairns is doing everything right. It's really hard.
There's no need for him to take any risks, is there? It's just plenty more of the same.
Just pick the shots you're picking and you will get them out there.
Yeah, Cairns don't need to rush in there anyway. I like to say, you've got to be careful with your head, the elbows, the shoulders. But I don't think he needs to rush in here because Stevens, he throws some sloppy shots and Cairns just got to be patient. And I believe he'll walk into him and stop him anyway. So there's no point risking nothing.
Let's see if we can do it. But the extremely tough Kirk Stevens has just come out for this round. And to be fair to him, straight on that front foot. But he has got to be careful he don't get hit with anything as he kind of falls in and he makes those attacks.
So you just keep drawing them in, and bring the big shots off it. Oh yeah, you just get a bit closer there. That body shot's there all day though. If he needs to get his range a bit closer there, Cairns.
He's looking for that lead hook under the right elbow, isn't he?
Yeah, see, that's a lovely body shot. See, yeah,
there it was, and that was a textbook body shot.
You heard it land, but it was a delayed reaction. You heard it here landing from ringside, and it was a good shot, mate.
Do you know what? Is Mark Lyson going to let him continue years? I don't know how long left on the clock here. There, it's a long time left in this round. 1 minute 40 to go, and Stephen Cairns knows that he's got Kirk Stevens hurt.
You just got to be patient here, not do nothing stupid, and slowly pick your shot, and I'm sure the knockout will come. There we go.
Lovely shot again. Absolutely brutal left hook to the body there, and
that's it.
Excruciating pain being felt by Stevens, and he looks at his corner and gets himself up. But the fight is over.
That was lovely work, lovely body work there from Cairns, mixing it up from head to body.
And there is a backflip to finish it off.
Signature backflip.
I'm kind of jealous, mate. I wish I could do that myself.
Next fight, Ryan, we've got to see it.
I'm probably going to break my neck at the end of it, I think.
No, solid performance there from Stephen Cairns, but hats off to Kirk Stevens. He is one tough man because it took a lot of shots before he started going to the canvas, didn't it? And heavy shots too.
Yeah, definitely, and he done well to get up from that first body shot. Was solid, you know, amongst all the others he took, so he done very well to get back up from that, and he was still pressing forward, you know, regardless of the shots he was taking.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a very, very mature performance of Stephen Cairns there. He mixed it up well from body to head. He was at the top of his range. He was never under any pressure. Do you know what I mean? He was very relaxed in there. So I think that was a well-schooled performance.
And for anyone who's ever done any sort of boxing, those kind of shots, those under the, you know, those liver shots are just horrendous, aren't they?
Can't comment, sorry.
Oh, here we go. No, never been caught with one.
I heard it here from ringside. You know, it was a delayed reaction. You heard it, him sink it in from here. So if you can hear it from me, I'm sure he felt it, Stevens.
Definitely.
Well, good to see both fighters embrace, but Thomas Triber has the official time, so we shall head over to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 40 seconds of round number 5. Our referee, Mark Lyson, waves it off. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout. And still undefeated, the Irish Takeover, Stephen Cairns.
Well, Stephen Cairns moves on with another victory on his record as he poses with trainer Dave Coldwell there in the centre of the ring in Altrincham here at Planet Eye. So much more boxing to come, and a very solid performance there from the Irishman, who I think is going to do some pretty special stuff as time goes by in this professional game. He's exciting, he stops people, and he's with Dev Sani now.
The Irish takeover, that was fantastic, Stephen Cairns. You must be over the moon.
Delighted to get the rounds, couple of rounds in. It's more than my last two fights. He was a tough game opponent. He came, he seen there, even when he was hurt, he was trying to say, oh, my arm. He was trying to disguise that body shot, but when that left hook lands to the body, it's just a matter of time.
How did you get it done, and how early did you see that shot in the fight?
I could see the body shot at the start, but as Dave says, you don't want to look for it straight away. And maybe in the first 2 rounds I was loading up a little bit, and then when I kept chipping away, you see the damage is done. With little lay-downs gloves, landed body shots, nobody's getting up.
Serious performance, Dave.
Yeah, very serious. He's a serious prospect, you know, but that's what he is. He's a prospect, and he's still learning. He's learning his way through there, and that's, you know, that's a perfect opponent for him. Somebody who, as soon as he hits him in the first round, he's not going to think, oh, that's enough for me. He tried to rush him in the second round, make him work, make him use all his energy where he's trying to load up, throwing bombs at him, and then get him tired. So in the back end of the fight, he could put on. That's what he tried. But Stephen stayed calm. He said, you know, things like that. We work on in the gym. He stayed calm. He picked his shots. Like I said, he's still loaded up a little bit, but once he understood that disguise things a little bit, just go back to the lead hand a little bit. Don't be looking at big bombs all the time and change the shots that you're throwing. That's when you catch him unawares.
That's the former Midlands champion. He's taken Yusuf Kamari 8 rounds as well. For you to do it like that in 5 rounds that quickly, it's a bit of a statement, Steve.
100%. And as I said, in the lightweight division, I'm a serious prospect, and I'm coming for the guys. Like, I've been working my way with Dave now, and we're nearly ready to leave that leash off, and nobody's safe.
You sacrifice a lot as well. I see it. I follow your vlogs, your diaries, your day in the life of. It's like you're just on your own pretty much all day. How much do you put into this sport?
I put everything into this sport, from training with Dave, training with Boxing Science, to my social media. People don't see that side of things, but that's a job in its own. And I push myself on social media. Now I've got Queensberry and the guys backing me. The sky's the limit. And yeah, my work ethic is unbelievable. My sacrifices I make, me and my girlfriend over here on our own, because we're chasing a dream together, and we're going to make it one day when we be world champion.
Brilliant stuff. Congratulations, Stephen Cairns. We're going to let you go. Thank you so much. Dave, let me just get you on the main event quickly. It's coming up. I got your prediction yesterday.
Yeah, you threw me in the bus there. I was like this.
I know, but listen, we're getting closer to it now. It's a big night for Jack Rafferty, Mark Chamberlain to come back. What are your thoughts?
Do you know what? When you come into the venue and you get a taste of it, it just fills you. Fights like this, big domestic dust-ups, evenly matched, it just fills you with excitement. And I just think that we don't know what Chamberlain's going to like stepping up the weight division. Does that power carry up? If it carries up, he's got a serious chance in the fight. But we're seeing that Rafferty is used in the division. That's his natural weight division. He's massive for the weight. He can take a shot. He's got an engine on him. He keeps on coming. And I think that what might be the key. I mentioned to you yesterday, Southpaw versus Orthodox. If you don't get the Southpaw versus the Orthodox right when you're the Orthodox fighter, that can cause you so many problems. You know, so Rafferty's got to deal with that. You know, that was Stephen's first Southpaw, and it's the same thing. It's going to take you a little bit while to get used to it. What damage you pick up in the time that you're trying to get used to and you get adapted to it, that again has an effect on a fight. So if Rafferty's putting it on him straight away, if Chamberlain starts putting it on him straight away and catching him with good heavy-handed shots, catching with straight left hands down the pipe if he's a little bit square up, does that slow Rafferty's charge? Yeah. And that gives him a chance. I think Mark's got to get off to a really good start early doors.
Well, just on the Southpaw element, because you mentioned that yesterday as well, it seems to be okay with Jack Rafferty. His breakout win was against Henry Turner, a fight in which he was being largely outboxed for most of it, but he caught up to him and he got him out of there. Corey O'Regan as well, Southpaw. So he's also got Terry Flanagan in camp. Yeah. Southpaw, that must be like a secret weapon.
Yeah, listen, the more you can prepare and get used to that Southpaw stance, the better it is for you. And you mentioned his wins he had before. Very good fighters. So, you know, Corey O'Regan's been out of my gym sparring quite a lot. Sharp kid, very, very good. But you're talking about it's a bit more seasoned, this Chamberlain. Yeah. You know, I know he's only 26. I actually thought because of how long he's been around, what he's been doing, and the big fights he's had, I thought he was a little bit older. But he's 26 years old, so he's still improving. Yeah. So I expect him to be better than what we have been. He's got it all on the line tonight because he's coming off a run of not great results. You know, let's be honest. So
it's that Padley loss that just stands out, doesn't it?
But did he take Padley lightly? Definitely. I think this is going to be an easy fight. So was that the real Mark Chamberlain? You know, so he's going to be up for it tonight. he's in the lion's den because this place is going to be so loud later on. When, you know, main event time, Rafferty's going to have it packed out, and he can't allow his emotions to get the better of him and go too fast early doors. He's got to pick the shots, and he's got to make the southpaw stance work for him, because if he goes out of the box really quick early, if he doesn't get rid of, if that power's not superpower at this division, and if it doesn't make a dent in Rafferty, he's going to be in for a real long night.
I can't wait to find out. Let me just get your thoughts on the Zach Miller Leon Woodstock fight, because I've enjoyed the build-up. I've enjoyed the balaclava, the handcuffs. I'm big into that kind of thing. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I mean, listen, I've known Leon for a lot of years. He's come up sparring with Opie Price and my guys, even Stephen. I think he's done loads of rounds with, like, a few years ago. Then the next thing he's dropped back down to, because this was when he was a lightweight. Yes. The next thing he's dropped down to featherweight.
He's done lightweight, super feather, and now he's...
And we was like, how? Because he's a big unit. He's a big kid, a strong kid. So, again, how's he really going to be at the weight against a top quality operator? And Zach Miller, I think, is improving so much. You know, when we first watched him coming through, I'll be honest with you, I was like, he's decent. But then you watch him how he's growing into his career. Some fighters grow into the career really well, and I think Miller's one of them. He's surrounded by good fighters. He's got a great coach. He's got a great setup, great team, and they work really, really hard. And the kid can fight. So, you know, it's a really tough fight for Leon Woodstock. You know, it is a tough fight for Leon Woodstock. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's a great fight.
It is a great fight. There's so many great fights. Dave, thank you so much.
Cheers, man.
Congratulations on Stephen Cairns. And let's head over to Thomas Triber.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Darwin El Finito Martinez.
Well, here is the super tough and durable Argentine, Darwin Martinez. A fairly familiar face over here in the UK. In fact, he's the only man who's gone the distance with Liverpool's Jack Turner, who we've got coming up later on. He's as tough as old boots and one of the hardest fighters to get rid of in terms of those away corner fighters who we see over here in the UK.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Charlie Sr.
Well, Charlie Sr. will make his way to the ring shortly for fight number 2 in his pro career. The Paris 2024 bronze medalist looks sharp, unforgiving and mature in his debut earlier this year. And from what we saw, he absolutely has what it takes to go a very, very long way in the pro scene. And great to see such a big smile on his face as he makes his way into combat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the featherweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, 32 Red, and Unibet. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, and scoring this contest will be Darren Sargentson. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 127.5 pounds. Coming to us from Managua, Nicaragua, he is a veteran of 44 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Darwin El Finito Martinez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with blue and weighed in officially at 129 pounds. Fighting out of Bradford, England, and raised in Perth, Australia, he had a stellar amateur career, becoming a 2024 bronze medalist for Australia, and now as a professional is undefeated with 1 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Charlie Senior.
Fellas, you both know the rules. Keep it clean. Nothing low. Watch your head. And when I say break, take a step back. Most importantly, defend yourself at all times. Best of luck, lads.
Well, we've got a bit of a theme this evening, and that theme from the 2 opening fights has been stoppages. Will this one go the full 6 rounds in the featherweight division? We'll wait and find out. Charlie Senior, the Paris 2024 bronze medalist, in his second fight in those white shorts with a blue trim, and Darwin Martinez of Argentina in the black and white shorts. Good stab down to the body there from Martinez. And Senior returns that left hook to the temple. A former opponent of yours, Nathaniel. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough. Like you said at the start there, he went the distance with Jack Turner. He went the distance with myself, you know. And he's actually not afraid to have a dash. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. A tough fight for your second bout.
I know from just conversations with people in boxing and those attached to Charlie Senior, he wants those tough fights at the start of his career because he wants to progress and he doesn't want any rollovers, which is a good sign of a fighter, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, from what I'm seeing so far this early on, normally you have opponents in your second fight that come to bowl over. But he's very game. He looks like he's coming to make a bit of a point, if you know what I mean. He's not one of them opponents that just go into his shell. As you can see there, he's trying to unload and trying to cause some pain to Charlie Senior.
Well, it's good stuff so far for the man who was born in Yorkshire but moved to Australia when he was very young. And there'll be lots of people in Australia watching this, so it'll be the early hours of the morning there. Good day to you. And the first observation with Senior for me so far in the opening part of round number 1 is he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's very, very relaxed in there. Like you say, looks like he's enjoying himself. It's only his second fight. That was good shots there, whipping it down to the body.
Martinez just shakes his head to say, you didn't hurt me. But we know 9 times out of 10 when a fighter does that, they definitely got through, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's a sign that in fact you did hurt him. And he looks sharp. Charlie Senior, he's quick. He's quick off the mark. His hands are fast.
Yeah, he's not rushing nothing. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Normally people early on in their career, I've done it myself, mate. Your second fight, you're trying to, everyone wants to get those stoppages early on in your career. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants the knockouts, but he's looking relaxed and not getting flustered with nothing.
We hear it over and over again all the time that if you relax and you see a fighter relax and they don't look for the knockout, then the knockout's more likely to come, aren't they?
Yeah, like you say, knockout normally comes when you're more relaxed, but as Nathaniel said earlier, he's been the distance with Nathaniel, this opponent here, and he's the only person who's took Jack Turner, Jack Turner the distance. So he's obviously going to be hard to get the knockout. So what Charlie Senior should be doing in this fight is getting the round, soaking up, getting the experience, but also looking good at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Make it show him what he's made of, really.
What can Senior learn in this fight, Nathaniel, in against an extremely tough fighter who just doesn't seem to go anywhere?
Yeah, just what Ryan's saying. Keep cool, look good, look sharp, be impressive. You know, don't try to force anything. If it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, you want to look the best you can look. You know, on the route to a victory.
We'll see this straight back out, starting this round in exactly the same way he started the previous round, on that front foot, popping that jab out and keeping Martinez busy thinking.
Yeah, I feel like that first round he took his time, was just having a feeling of his opponent, Charlie Senior was, and I'd like to say it should start going through the gears now these next couple of rounds. which he's doing there on the front foot this round.
For a lovely couple of shots to the body did Senior, and then just stepped out, didn't get carried away and popped that jab, and just looking for the right things.
Yeah, as Al Smith there was just saying to Charlie Senior, feint before he throws. You know what I mean? Make him think and then draw him in and then throw the attacks.
And the dynamic shifted a bit here because Martinez came into the first round, you know, all guns blazing, swinging. You know, he actually landed a few good shots, and he's yet to throw anything this round, really.
And that's where the good fighters show how good they are, because you just adapt, don't you? You have to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, that's it. And I'd be like, it just feels like Charlie should start going through the gears now. Look, mix it, body, head, start using the feints a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Drawing the lead out. That's good head movement there then.
Martinez just still showing he's there, you know, giving him something to think about, and he is landing shots.
Yeah, he's not a bad. Normally you get the journeyman, they're technically not very good, but he's whipping him in very well. He's got good technique there. Do you know what I mean? He's all round good composure as well.
He is, and I tell you what, with Senior, it's almost like he's kind of letting him throw a little bit more than maybe he should do, so he can show off his defensive skills, and he soaked up a few of those on the gloves as well.
Yeah, sometimes you just letting them throw a bit more, because then you try and draw them in a bit more. Do you know what I mean? You let them throw, you let them unleash. You think that they're comfortable, and then that's when you counter and you catch them.
Lovely left hook under the right elbow of Martinez from Senior there, but he is most certainly still there, and he kind of just sort of smirks at Senior as he fires back with his own shots.
Yeah, I think he needs to keep popping the jab out a bit more, Charlie Senior.
Yeah.
He's coming in there in straight lines and that, not throwing no jabs. Do you know what I mean? Everything comes off the jab, as you said earlier. So, and that's when you can start breaking it down off the jab.
Yep. And, you know, I'm only speaking from past experience. Being in with Martinez is, you can help him, you know, with the kitchen sink, and he'll still smile at you. Lovely shot.
That he caught him nice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look like his legs dipped a little bit there.
He felt that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
And his face has reddened. But talking about Charlie Senior in and about your weight divisions, how does it make you feel when you see fighters like him? I know he's a long way from where you guys are. It's only in his second fight, but it's a good sign for the division, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, in all honesty, this is the first time I've seen him. He's impressive. He's got quick hands. You know, like you're saying, he's only in his second fight. You know, both Ryan and myself are in touching distance of world titles, so it's always good to see people coming up behind you, but we're looking in front.
But yeah, by quite a considerable amount, Ryan.
Yeah, like you say, as Nathaniel said, we're hopefully pushing on to world title contention now, but it's always good seeing new guys coming through. Do you know what I mean? The game never stops. Obviously, we're getting older. There's always going to be younger generations coming forward, and eventually they're going to be trying to call us out down the line.
Exactly.
So it's always good to see new fighters coming through, mate.
That's exactly the point. Is do you keep an eye on them? And I suppose you have got to in some sort of way.
Yeah, keep him in touching distance. You know what I mean?
I'm looking at his chest, seeing that 2004 there, thinking
it makes you feel old, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. I still feel young myself, mate. Do you know what I mean? 2004. Jesus, where's the time gone?
I know.
You don't look a day over 21, Ryan.
Nah, that's what I tell myself, mate. Don't worry. But this is a very, very good controlled performance. You know what I mean? I'd imagine Al was like I heard him earlier saying, just need to keep feinting a bit more, keep feinting, draw the leading, and let him open himself up. Then work him in.
I think this is a really good example of, in some cases and in a lot of cases, I guess, how that kind of solid amateur background, someone who's been to the Olympics, etc., can stand out in the program. Because for me, Charlie Senior, he doesn't look like a fighter in his second fight at all.
Nah, like you say, he hasn't really put a foot wrong this fight so far. As you say, having a good amateur career, it puts you in good position as soon as you turn over pro. That's why a lot of the good amateurs nowadays, they progress very quick in the pro ranks, and they soon start fighting for titles quicker than the normal prospect.
Lovely shot. He's actually switching really comfortably, you know, between stances as well as Charlie Senior.
Oh.
Just opening him up.
He's whipping him in now, isn't he? I think he's slowly starting to get, but he's got to be careful there when he comes in.
He has, because Martinez got through with one of them. But he throws a really nice shot down to the body, does Senior, and then just whips it up over the top in no time. And he caught him with it.
Yeah. He's switching there, he's switched back to orthodox, and then when he steps across him, he switches to southpaw, and that's what's kind of catching him off guard with the stance switches, because he can whip the lead hook or the backhand hook via the hand, you know.
That's it, he brought his guard back up. He'd done his work and he come back to him. He didn't leave himself open, which is good. Good work. But you need to start digging him in when he's in there in the pocket. Digging him head, body, head. Keep mixing it up and keep him thinking. That lovely shot. I think he's slowly starting to get to him a little bit here. You don't need to stand there for too long though and leave himself open. Nice body shot, nice.
I think this is a great opponent for Charlie Senior to
just
show.
It really is. It's perfect, isn't it?
That was good, nice. In and out of range, yes. On the tip of his range, keep working head, body, head. That was lovely work there.
Like you said earlier on and touched on it, as these guys with the amateur experience, they don't normally get the right opponents at the right time. This is showing you, you know, I'm beyond that level where you might want to move me slowly and protect me, or call me a prospect, or whatever that thing is that people want to do where they hold you back a little bit, and he's just here to show like I'm past that level already.
And how important do you think, as a fighter who's knocking on, you know, world title doors, who's been there and kind of had the apprenticeship of the program, how important is that matchmaking now when you look back on it?
Yeah, it's a hard one to comment on when, you know, when I was in my second, third, fourth fight, I was already saying, like, I don't want to fight journeymen, I want to fight for titles. I think I fought for my first title after 5 fights, you know, I fought for the Commonwealth in 8 fights, so like Charlie will probably end up doing, I only had a handful of they learning fights.
Well, early days, as we said, only his second pro fight. Hopefully a long time in the pro game has Charlie Senior. But we like what we see so far. If you're just joining us, a very warm welcome along. I'd say warm welcome. We're in an ice rink. It's not that warm at all. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, Ryan Garner and Nathaniel Collins.
I think you need to re-highlight that for people. It is not that warm at all.
I'm sat here shivering, if I'm honest with you. But you see Charlie Senior starting to grow in confidence here.
Yeah,
but you've got to be careful coming in there. He said he got caught with one there, but he's starting to grow in confidence. He's keep pushing it on the front foot. He's sitting there, planting his feet a bit more. So he's going to be trying to look for the knockout here.
Definitely one thing that you can say about these guys is it's hard to get them out there with one shot. It's hard to even get them out there with a combination, but Charlie Senior's doing the right thing there and just continuous punching, because if a ref sees that, they will step in.
Yeah, see earlier on in my career when I was fighting these journeymen, as you said, upstairs into the head, it's so hard to stop with one single shot. I tended to find it was more through my volume and the fitness, do you know what I mean? Slowly wearing them down, and then through exhaustion, they can't get the pressure, do you know what I mean?
But that's where it's all part of the apprenticeship, isn't it, this stuff?
Yeah, of course, like you say, it's his second fight, mate. He's still learning on the job. He's got a lot to go, but what I've seen so far has been very impressive. Do you know what I mean? Mixing it head, body, head. He's sharp. He's on the front foot. He's looking very good.
Big solid right hand there from Darwin Martinez, and Senior just comes back with a barrage of his own.
Nice shot there, nice.
And the ref's just telling him to punch this. Martinez needs to throw.
He's taking a lot of punishment in this round. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad I'm not him tomorrow morning. He's going to be waking up with a sore head.
I just think some of these away corner fighters are incredible. You know, the punishment which they take, and you know, he'll be back out fighting in a couple of weeks if he goes the full 6 rounds.
They're a different breed, these journeymen, aren't they? Like you say, they're as tough as they come. They take a hiding, and they come back next week ready to go again. They're a different breed, mate.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is.
Lovely shot. He's you know what? Give him his due. He's still trying to fire back the odd shot here and there, but he's getting opened up now. You know,
he's still looking sharp with it, Charlie. See, look, that was like nice head movement there. That's where he's starting to show like his amateur class there. Do you know what I mean? The head, the body, all the movement there, and just making his opponent miss.
You can almost see him thinking to himself, who's this guy still here?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I sit here ringside watching and commentating on a lot of these away corner fighters, these tough guys, and you look at the prospects, and you can see it in their eyes sometimes. You can see it, they're thinking, what have I got to do to get rid of you?
Yeah, and just, you know, as you turned to us there, actually, he stood up in his own corner and took a deep breath, and to be fair, he put a lot into that round trying to get him out of there, and I don't know if they told him to step on the gas and just put it on him, but he's still there, so it'll be interesting to see how much that round took out of Charlie Senior in terms of his own work rate.
Yeah, I've been in there with quite a few journeymen myself, and I've seen a lot of journeymen go over for a lot less than what Charlie Senior gave his opponent tonight. So he's a tough man.
Again, the ref's just saying you need to throw, so you know he's at risk of getting stopped potentially.
Oh, lovely left hook there from Martinez.
I was saying he needs to throw back, and he goes and lands that. Do you know what I mean? But like I was saying earlier, most of these fighters, they don't get stopped through because they're hurt. It's just through sheer volume, as you were saying there. The ref was telling him he needs to throw back. Do you know what I mean? If they don't start seeing stuff come back, then that's when the ref calls it.
And he caught a senior again then with a little left hook.
I believe they both shipped one each there.
Yeah. But if anything, all these shots coming back mean for Martinez is it just kind of puts the bit between Senior's teeth even more, because he just kind of digs his toes into the canvas, doesn't he?
Yeah, looks like the ref was just having a little look there. Do you know what I mean? Charlie Senior's just working and digging him in.
Oh, well, nice hook again there from him. You know, it's all kind of survival shots. He's not doing more than he needs to do, other than, you know, to appease the ref.
Just so that he's popping them shots, so just do one shot and hope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good body shot.
Good body shot, yeah.
And
I'll give him that.
It's interesting because Charlie Senior's obviously slowing down from, you know, what we seen last round.
Yeah, last few rounds he's putting quite a bit into it, and do you know what I mean? He's been throwing a lot more shots than what he normally does. It's where he's got to be careful, Charlie Senior, not doing nothing stupid. Do you know what I mean? As he's slowly getting more tired, just not do nothing stupid and get caught with silly shots that he shouldn't be getting caught with.
He's not necessarily having a round off his Charlie Senior, but the tempo has dropped quite significantly in this round. But at the same time, he's still in control, and he's still doing enough. But those left hooks keep coming back.
That's what I say. He's got to be careful there. As he's getting slowly a bit more tired, he's sitting there a bit too long than what he normally would. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, it's holding his feet.
Even though they might not hurt Charlie Senior, they're eye catching. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be getting caught with one that don't look good. Do you know what I mean?
That wee body shot that he threw there, Martinez, actually kind of looked like it had an effect, because
he's landed a couple of them body shots. He does throw a good lead out to the body, to be fair.
I'll tell you another observation with Martinez is, Nathan, you might be able to back this one up, but it doesn't look like he kind of increases or decreases his power when he throws his shots. Like every shot is just like 100%, isn't it?
You know, that's probably why he doesn't throw a lot, and it was very similar against me. He never threw a lot. That was good.
Just hit that under the lead elbow there. That was a good body shot.
He doesn't look bothered at all.
It's honestly, it's astounding that the amount of times you see him go back to the corner and they're just smiling after just brutal, unforgiving shots.
Like I said to you earlier, mate, they're a different breed, some of these fighters. Do you know what I mean? They're a different breed. They do this week in, week out, and they get up the next day like nothing's ever happened.
Yeah.
And unbelievably important to the sport. But one more round to go in this fight.
Yeah, and you know, Martinez is going to think, if I don't get stopped here, I'm going out again next week to get a wage. So it's, you've survived and weathered the storm here, the big shots. Charlie Senior's going to come out firing probably, but you know, you can even see the kind of decrease in his power even in the last round there. He obviously copped a few shots. So
yeah, I don't know how Charlie Senior's feeling. He still looks good. The tempo's dropped.
Yeah.
So that's where kind of the amount of rounds you guys box on your way up is important, isn't it? Because maybe 6 rounds is probably perfect for his second fight with the perfect opponent. Yeah,
definitely. And he's, you know, you can see his cleverness is still there. His IQ is still high, but maybe the pop in the shot's gone a bit more.
Like I say, it's only his second pro fight, and he's gone straight into a 6th round already. Do you know what I mean? In the amateurs, he was used to doing three rounds, and then there's only had 1 4-rounder. So this 6th round, getting his 6th round is key in his learning. Do you know what I mean? As he progresses, he's got getting his rounds in early, but he's still looking good.
Yeah, he's looked phenomenal for his. Like you're saying, it's only his 2nd fight, and you could watch this and think, oh, this guy's.
He's a well-schooled pro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
With a bounce in Martinez's legs is nowhere near what it was a few rounds ago. You can tell that he's done a bit of moving around tonight.
Yeah, and he's took quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? Charlie Senior's hit him with quite a lot of punches, so you can tell he's going to be slowed down. All the pop in his legs is going to be gone. Do you know what I mean? And he's just going to be going into survival mode this round.
This is good work from Senior, just bouncing in and out. 3 or 4 shots and then straight back in again.
Oh. Yeah, what you don't want to do is he's looked good all through this fight so far, all 5 rounds. As he's getting tired himself, Charlie Senior, don't want to stand there too long and get caught with stupid shots that he shouldn't do. But other than that, he's looked very, very good so far.
Yeah, definitely. Even though he's pulling out silly shots just to stay busy, but they're kind of unnecessary. They're not landing. Like you're just putting yourself at risk sometimes with things like that, but
especially with all arm shots like that. Do you know what I mean? He's one that fight comfortable. He should be being patient and digging, even just digging in the 1s or the 2s instead of throwing 4s and 5s with just arms.
Yeah,
just the 1 or 2 clean, powerful shots, and it makes you look better, mate. And you're obviously not potentially getting hit back. That's it. See there, that's where he's come back out of range there now. He do his work, get out of range. There, that's it, lovely, there you go.
There's a good little left hook to the body there from Senior, and it just dipped Martinez's legs ever so slightly, but he kind of takes a breath, moves around, and then gets himself back into business as we go into the last 25 seconds or so of this 6-round contest, which looks like it will break the theme tonight and will go the distance unless anything dramatic happens.
Yeah, but it's been a great learning fight for Charlie Senior, do you know what I mean? Getting his 6 rounds under his belt against a very, very game and tough opponent, mate. But he's looked very, very good. Oh, lovely shot. See, most journeymen, see that shot there? That would have been game over there. So this is a perfect learning experience fight for him.
Yeah, there's plenty who wouldn't have stood up to the punishment which Charlie Senior gave to Darwin Martinez tonight, but plenty to like. Good feet, good hands, good shot selection, a bit of showmanship there. He's got an aesthetically pleasing style, has Senior. Early days, got a great team around him. He's in the right hands, and well, we can confidently say that he'll be cruising to yet another win in the pro game.
Yeah, I was very, very impressed with that performance. Like I say, he's got a great team around him. Al Smith and the iBox gym, they're starting to get a really, really good stable behind them. And so for him being in amongst that gym, down at the iBox, around all them other top fighters with the Henry Turners and stuff like that, Sam Noakes, he's only going to learn and get better as he progresses, being around that kind of gym and that environment.
Well, success breeds success, and Thomas Schreiber has the score, so we shall go over to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Darren Sargentson, scores the contest 60-54 for your winner and still undefeated, Charlie Senior.
Wonderfully done. Another victory on the card of Charlie Senior, and another stylish performance for the Team GB bronze medalist. And
have a backflip, mate.
2 backflips.
I told you, mate. Next up, I'm going to have to do that or break my neck.
I say, if you two don't do a backflip after your next fight, I'm going to be not angry, just disappointed.
I think the best thing you'll get out of me, so I don't hurt myself, maybe a worm or something like that.
A backwards roll?
Yeah, a worm, a backwards roll. None of that business.
I bet you could do a backflip, Nathaniel. Can you? You're into all the cross.
I actually can do a backflip. I just never have done one. I can't bear, you know, back in the day I went to a show in Glasgow and Stephen Simmons jumped over the top rope and got his foot caught, and ever since then I says I'm never going to do anything that could potentially embarrass me like that.
Nah. Oh, especially these days with
Social
viral
media,
moments on the internet. And over to Thomas Driver.
Let's continue, and first welcome to the ring, Federico El Zordo Pedraza.
Federico Pedraza fighting out of Argentina. It's his first fight over here in the UK. He's racked up plenty of wins over in Argentina, fighting on that tough and rugged South American small hall scene. We don't know too much about him, and sometimes that can be a bit dangerous, but he's here and he's ready for action, and he enters the ring right now.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Nelson, the Sexy One, Birchall.
And here he comes, the confident southpaw from Morecambe, Nelson Birchall. 12 fighters turned down a fight with him, and that normally means that you're doing plenty of the right thing. His last 2 fights didn't go past the first round, and this young man, he's doing lots of good stuff, which is getting a lot of fighters to shake their heads. Good sign so far.
Yeah, I've sparred Nelson before down at the Four Corners gym in Liverpool, and yeah, he's a good kid. He knows his way about the ring. His knockout on Queensberry, I think it was 2 fights ago, and it was a little like lead hook to the body and a lead uppercut, and he knocked the guy clean out, so, and it was lovely, so looking forward to this one.
He's extremely confident in his ability. I mean, Ryan, to nickname yourself the Sexy One. I mean, you really have got to be, haven't you, eh?
Mate, you've got to be very, very confident in yourself, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I say, I believe, if I'm really right in saying, I'm not sure if you said you knew, but 12 domestic people turned down the fight with him before this fight, so there's obviously a lot around his name. I mean, a lot of people must obviously rate him highly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the super featherweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. Reyacht Season, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, 32 Red, and Unibet. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, and scoring this contest will be Mark Lyson. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white, red, and black, and weighed in officially at 132 pounds. Coming to us from San Martin, Buenos Aires, Argentina, he brings a professional record consisting of 14 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Federico El Zordo Pedraza. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing gold with purple and weighed in the same as his opponent, 132 pounds. Hailing from Morecambe, England, he is undefeated with 8 wins. 5 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Nelson, the sexy one, Birchall.
Okay, boys, both know the rules. Want you to obey my commands. Tell you to break clean. Defend yourselves at all times, boys. Touch gloves. Go up, boys.
Go on, brother.
Well, the career continues for Nelson Birchall, who's fighting in the southpaw stance in those purple and gold shorts. As we said in the intro, plenty of fighters turned down to fight him, but not this man, Federico Sebastian Pedraza of Argentina, who won his first 13 fights before picking up his first defeat. And have had plenty of action on that Argentinian small hall scene where there are some tough fighters knocking about. Birchall just showing him that he's going to be the man on the front foot here.
He looks very fidgety and very awkward to start with, do you know what I mean? He's the type of opponent, so you've got to be careful early on, do you know what I mean, with getting cut and stuff like that, where they're so fidgety and awkward. And they're throwing their body all over the place. You've got to be careful as you're coming in early on with the head and stuff like that.
Well, Birchall in fantastic company in the corner. Joe McNally, Liam Smith and Russ Amber. So if he gets to go back there for
nice
the break
there
between rounds, he's in a good place, and he's certainly the aggressor here.
Yeah, he's looking like he's whipping him in there. If I'm honest, I don't think this will be a long night, to be fair. Birchall's looking nice and calm. He's coming in with a nice tight guard, and he's working that body very well.
Yeah, I think so far, looking at Pedraza, when Birchall's letting those shots go, letting his hands go, he looks a little bit like a deer in headlights, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He looks a bit very fidgety, and that's where you've got to be careful with like he's with cuts and stuff like that. But he's working well, to be fair. He's not getting too close. And he's switching up from head to the body very well.
Oh. Nice. Good shots there from Birchall.
Yeah, he's working well so far.
Oh, nice,
lovely shot.
That was a beautiful shot. And Federico Pedraza finds himself on the canvas.
Oh, it's done already.
And that is yet another first round stoppage for the young man from Morecambe. He's confident, and that is another thing to give him the confidence that he needs to go a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he caught him right in the chin there. Kind of first clean punch he landed on the chin, and Pedraza went down, so he's obviously got a good bit of power. You know, they're saying that there was 12 domestic opponents that knocked it back, and you can kind of see why, but at some point you're going to want to step up into that domestic scene when, you know, these guys can't take your power.
Yeah, sorry. It's a bit, obviously, listen, he looked very, very good there from what I see there, but it's a bit of a shame from his opponent's perspective. Look at the opponent we had in the last fight. Look how tough he was, look how much beating he took, and I bet Nelson he'd be very happy he's just got the stoppage, but also at the same time he wants to progress, and as he wants to progress, he needs to get the learning rounds in, do you know what I mean? And they'd be a bit maybe gutted that he didn't get the rounds from this opponent, whereas see he was in the last fight. Look at that opponent, look how much beating he took with Charlie Senior. And they're the kind of fights, this early on, they'll do you more good, like the last opponent, than this one bowling over that easy, do you know what I mean?
It must be quite tough when you've got a fighter who's doing so well like he is, and he's just not getting the rounds in. But Thomas Schreiber is posing ready, so we'll go to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 19 seconds of round number 1. Our referee in charge, Mark Lyson, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Nelson, the sexy one, Birchall.
Yeah, so as you were saying just before we got the official time there, when you've got a fighter like Nelson Birchall, who, you know, he needs those rounds, doesn't he, early on, it's tough to match someone like that, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, actually, like Ryan was saying, the Martinez from the last fight, that's a similar weight division, you know, that would probably be a good fight for him, get the rounds in. We've seen the punishment he was taking, you know, that's what the first round stoppage in a row for Nelson Birchall, so you want to put him in against somebody like Martinez that can take a shot, and, you know, when you're putting the guys away, then people will kind of take notice, and that can push you on.
Yeah, as you said then, maybe for the next fight for Nelson Birchall is maybe that last opponent that we see there who's been in with all these, he's took Nathaniel the distance, he's took that Jack Feeney the distance, he took Charlie Senior the distance last time. He may be the next step for him, the next fight for Nelson Birchall would be that Martinez next, to slowly, hopefully give him the rounds. You know what I mean? Obviously he's looking like a very, very good fighter, but at the end of the day you need rounds. As you go through levels, you want to start getting into these championship fights, you need them rounds in the bank. So yeah, definitely that Martinez will be a very good fight for him next in his career.
Yeah, and I guess if you just keep knocking people over, then the confidence can get the best of you, and sometimes it's good for someone to go through the rounds and have someone really tough and realise that you can't get rid of everybody. But anyway, a really good performance, solid work there from Nelson Birchall. He's with his brothers and he joins DAZN right now.
We have a delighted Nelson Birchall joined by his brothers, of course, William and Leighton. Nelson, got to come to you first. That was pretty good.
Yeah, listen, as soon as I got the jab going, I could see the fear in his eyes, and he just didn't want to know. So I didn't force anything, just let my hands go. Smart thinking, sinking a few to the body, and he just didn't want to know once I got going, and stepped up the gears a little bit.
And I've heard you talk about that in the build-up to your fights. You don't go out there looking for knockouts, but you keep finding them.
Yeah, listen, I think if you go looking for them, you can't find them. I'm naturally heavy-handed. If I just let my hands go naturally and think smart like I do, I know I can take them out there, so I've got no need to force it and rush it. It's going to come, it's going to come. If it's don't, it don't.
Let's bring in Big Bro, William Birchall. How was that for you?
Yeah, listen, unbelievable, you know. Listen, nothing surprises me with these boys. The more you want, they train hard, train extremely hard, and just getting better and better.
Little bro, you must be proud looking up to Nelson.
Standard procedure, you know. That's what we do. Knockouts only.
That is what you do. I mean, listen, I keep hearing that Tyson Fury is retired. This is what we're hearing at the moment. So the future of Morecambe boxing is surely in safe hands with you three, though.
Well, they're looking at it, aren't they? They're looking at it here, right here. We're ready to take over, baby. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. Only place we are going is up.
Do you boys concur with that? Do you agree? Morecambe boxing's in safe hands. You're going all the way to the top.
Listen, 100%. You know, listen, this is not just an overnight thing for us. You know, we've done it for 10 plus years, winning national titles all the way through, and now we're here on the pro game, and we're smashing motherfuckers up, aren't we?
I have to apologise for the language. I was half expecting it, but Leighton, in a clean way, you feel you're going to the top of the sport as well. I know you've got your next fight scheduled now as well.
Yeah, scheduled now for November the 1st on the Boatsian card. Come to steal the show just like Nelson has tonight.
Nelson, the featherweight division is on notice. That's 9-0 now. You can't be that far behind the likes
Give
of
us
Zach
the titles.
Miller.
We're on the titles now.
You all want titles.
now.
I know, but on you, Nelson, you're further ahead at the moment. There's another featherweight title fight on this show. How far behind are you from the likes of Zach Miller, Leon Woodstock?
Well, listen, if it was up to me, I fight them all tomorrow, every single one of them. I'm not bothered. But personally, I need to bank some rounds. I've stopped my last 5, 6 on the 5 on the trot, and 4 of them being in the first round. So to get some rounds would be nice, but at the same time, I like knocking bitches out. I love it.
One final thing, you were pretty bullish at the press conference. You said that all of these guys on my level, they're turning me down right now. That's not going to help, is it?
Well, listen, it's a compliment to me because I'm doing something right, you know what I mean? So if they want it, let's have it. If they don't, go fuck yourself.
Apologies for the language again. Nelson, congratulations.
Thank you again.
And great to see you, William. Great to see you, Leighton, as well. Brilliant stuff. And again, I have to apologise for the language, but we're going to bring in Nathaniel Collins. Brilliant performance there from Nelson Birchall. Now 9 fights without defeat. And the future of Morecambe boxing looks to be in very safe hands. Nathaniel Collins, Ryan Garner. I mean, were you impressed with what you saw? I'll start with you, Ryan.
Yeah, it was very, very impressive. Like I said just a minute ago, obviously he thinks a lot of himself, and he is a very, very good fighter, and he wants to start stepping up levels. As we see in the fight before that of Charlie Senior, that Martinez, look how tough he was. And if we want rounds, we were saying next, that Martinez against Leighton Birchall next would be the perfect next step in fight to get the rounds, because he's a very good fighter and he wants to go for the levels, start fighting the top, so you need to get the rounds in. So who knows, that Martinez could be a good fight for him next.
No, that actually sounds like a great shout, like a great bit of matchmaking there. Are we going to see Nelson Birchall against Darwin Martinez? Is that what's next? What are you thinking?
Promoter Garner to sort it out, yeah.
Piranha Promotions.
That's it, Piranha Promotions.
I'm starting out, mate.
But were you impressed? You've sparred Nelson before as well.
Yes,
you know the
I've sparred two of the brothers there, Leighton and Nelson. They're good kids. They know their way about the ring. Yeah, you can see he wasn't rushing anything. It was a mature performance, but like Ryan's saying, the calibre of opponent or the durability of the opponent is questionable. Darwin Martinez, somebody who can take him the rounds, doesn't need necessarily to be Martinez, but someone that's a bit more durable. Give him them rounds.
What do you think of the character as well? The three brothers, I mean, I had to keep apologising for the swearing. We don't condone that. But they've clearly got something about them, Ryan.
Mate, obviously, they're very, very confident. And they've got a reason to be. You know what I mean? All three of them are good fighters. Like I say, they're very confident. You've got to be confident. Like, not many people call themselves the sexy ones, you know what I mean? So they're very confident.
Would you call yourself that, Ryan?
People might call me that.
Sure.
I wouldn't call myself that.
Sure.
People can call me that. But, yeah, no, I wouldn't personally.
What's been your kind of highlight so far on what you've seen tonight? Firstly, I think that's the first time you've done a bit of commentary for us as well. So how you found it?
That's the first time I've done some Queensberry commentary. I like it. I did have my good man Darren Rees. We done a show in Liverpool together, so I've had a bit in the past. I like it. It's much better being on this side of the ropes than getting punched in the head.
Well, you don't normally get punched in the head that much, to be fair. You're normally doing the punching.
That's very true. That is very true.
Who impressed you tonight?
So that's the first time I've seen Charlie Senior. He was sharp. He was very quick hands. So I was majorly impressed by him. Stephen Cairns, actually, on my last commentary gig, seen him as well, and he's vicious body puncher. I really like his style, and he was very cool, very calm. So yeah, somebody that I'd like to see much more of.
Does Stephen Cairns stand out to you as well, Ryan?
He looked very, very good. Like I say, he looked relaxed. He looked like a seasoned pro. Do you know what I mean? He was on the tip of his range. He didn't waste nothing. As his opponent was unloading, he was cool, calm. Do you know what I mean? He was whipping in the body shots very well, as you can see by the stoppage in the end. So I was very impressed with him, mate.
Yeah, he's got that. He's taken himself away from his family. He's from Cork in Ireland. He lives up there with Dave Caldwell, and he's just, all he does is boxing. I'm sure both of you guys can speak to that, but the level of sacrifice that he's making to take himself away from home shows how much he wants it, Nathaniel.
Definitely, and like I just said earlier on when we were watching him, is the confidence and the calmness and, you know, the belief in your own ability comes from the work you're putting in and the sacrifice you're making, you know, out with the ring. So all them percentages add up, and you know, that's why he's got the ability to put performances on like that and be so confident and be cool, and he's got nothing to rush. He knows, like, I've done the work and I'm here to show it.
Well, we've got 2 Olympic bronze medalists tonight. Of course, we've already seen one of them. One of them was indeed Charlie Senior. We've got Lewis Richardson coming up as well. Ryan, what do you make of this? When Olympians turn over, it feels like there's extra kind of scrutiny on them, extra pressure. I put that to Lewis Richardson in the week, and he said, it's okay, pressure is a privilege.
Mate, like you say, privilege can be a privilege. A lot of fighters, they tend to take pressure differently. I mean, everyone handles it differently. It depends how you handle it. You know what I mean? It could be detrimental to you, it could be beneficial to you, mate. It depends how you handle it, mate.
And with Charlie Senior though, he's another one. He's from Australia. He's come over here, but he seems to have taken to boxing professionally like a duck to water, Nathaniel.
Yeah, cool character. You know, people buy into that, and we want to see that story. We want to see, you know, these guys that are sacrificing their lives, and if you've got a bit of style and a bit of class, and you can fight, then you're on your way to being the whole package. So.
And you appear to be, you're both on your way to being the whole package. We've got your next date. We know that you're out, of course, October the 4th in Braehead against Cristobal Lorente, who couldn't stop smiling at you at the press conference. It felt like you wanted to kind of go for him a little bit, but he just wouldn't give you anything.
Too nice. They keep getting me all these nice guys. Nah, you know what? It's just another guy standing between me and a world title, and genuinely this time it's a world title eliminator, so he is genuinely standing between me and a world title. So I've worked my whole life for this, and I can't slip up at the last moment.
Preparation all going good?
Yep, amazing. Sitting here watching everybody eat their nice dinners at the hotel and licking my lips thinking about it in 6 weeks.
I'll eat it for him, don't worry. Sorry, I'm not in training at the moment.
He did tell me that.
Well, listen, we're going to bring in another man who is also in action on October the 4th, Regan Glackin, who's going to jump in here. Regan, great to see you. And we recently got the news that your fight is actually now for the vacant British Lightweight Championship. Big moment for you coming up October the 4th, Regan.
Yeah, mate, obviously a few days after we had the press conference up in Glasgow, the board came out and mandated it, so, and confirmed it, so just buzzing to get that over the line, do you know what I mean? It's going to be a massive night, so very much looking forward to it.
You know, in the history of the British Lightweight Championship, there has only been 6 British Lightweight champions from Scotland. You could be number 7.
Soon be 7, innit? Soon be 7.
Definitely number 7, lucky number 7 they say, don't they? I would just say to you last time, naming the 6 I couldn't name. One of my idols, Anthony Crawler, I was speaking to him the day after the press conference, so hopefully I can put my name in amongst the names, you know what I mean? So lucky number 7.
Is he going to win?
Oh, he's going to win. I'll tell you why he's going to win, is because he's in my camp and he has to deal with me, and he can deal with me fine, so if he can deal with me, he can deal with this guy.
Listen, there's a great camaraderie between you two. To bring it back to tonight's event, we've got Zach Miller and Jack Rafferty. They're mates, they train together, etc., and they're going to fill this place up tonight. What impact does that have when you've got your mate fighting? Because you're going to have the same thing coming up.
Yeah, definitely. It's difficult. It could go one or two ways. As whatever happens to the other guy could affect your dressing room, but him coming back, and that can lift up your dressing room and everybody's there to go. But like you're saying, they two are close as anything. I mean, the both of us have been down and sparred the both of them, and it's just tight as anything. The gym's all behind each other. I was in hitting the bag, me and Zach. Everybody's clapping around it, shouting, let's go, let's go. They're shouting at each other. Tom Rafferty's in the back shouting, and it's just like they've got great energy as a gym all in total, so yeah.
So we should see that energy on October the 4th with you guys as well, right?
You'll see that energy with us. We're winners over here.
Definitely, champs camp.
Give us your prediction actually for your fight with Louis O'Doherty. Look, he's a good fighter as well, just like you. Big opportunity for him. What's going to happen in that?
Mate, nothing but respect. There was no crap talking at the press conference, so I respect every fighter, but he better prepare for the best rig in Glackey October 4th, because that's what's going to be there. There's no way I'm not grabbing this opportunity, both hands. So I don't make, the only prediction I make is a great win for myself and this man here. 2 big wins, so that's all I can say.
Fair play. And Ryan, when Regan's talking about respectful press conferences, I've done a number of your press conferences, always very, very respectful as well. You're not into the trash talking, you let your fist do the talking. That's your kind of mentality as well, right?
Yeah, mate, like I say, as much as you do have tried stirring it up in the past, you have tried stirring it, but nah, listen, I'm respectful in there. I'm just there to do a job. I'll shake the hand before a fight, shake the hand after a fight. It don't mean nothing to me, and that's what quite a lot of fighters like that, mate. I mean, we're just there to do a job. But at the end of the day, once you get through them ropes, and then everything goes out the window, you're going to punch each other's head in, and then you shake it down.
That's not what you want to hear.
Not really. I'll like to get it up going a little bit. Listen, we've got a lot of fighters tonight, all with points to prove. I want to speak a little bit about Mark Chamberlain, a man that you know very well.
Yeah.
He's got a big point to prove. Not so long ago, we were seeing him on those Riyadh season shows. He was flying. It was all going so well. Came unstuck against Josh Padley. How determined do you think he is to get back to where he was, or has he maybe lost a bit of hunger? What do you think?
I can't tell you, obviously, because I don't know what's going through his head, but he's going to want to, like you say, he was at that top level. He's fighting on his Riyadh season. He was #1 with the WBC. He was in line to fight for a world title, I believe. Obviously, a banana skin never happened. He lost it to Josh Padley. Now he's going to be most winning, more hungry than ever. He's coming off a loss. He's moved up a weight. So he's coming up against Jack Rafferty, who's in the form of his life. Do you know what I mean? He's a big super lightweight. So Mark's got an uphill task here. Do you know what I mean? Everything's against him really. He's in his Jack Rafferty's backyard. He's moved up a weight. So it's going to be a hard night's work for him, mate. But he's going to be hungry. So he's going to want to prove a point here, and he's going to get back into title contention.
Yeah, you can see that, Nathaniel. He'll definitely have a point to prove tonight. Being that close, they were talking about, okay, he's going to be fighting for a world title soon. To have that just taken away because maybe he took his eye off the ball will surely be eating him up.
Yeah, and I think when you think about Mark Chamberlain, you know, the first thing you associate him with is power. He can knock people out, and he does knock people out, and, you know, you can't take that away. You can look at almost everyone with power carries it up at least a weight or two, so you know, if he can carry it up like I think he can, it could pose some problems. But like Ryan's saying, Jack Rafferty's big, he's strong, he's relentless. He's not had the opportunity to go to Riyadh, he's not had the big monies, he's not had this handed to him, so you know, I can relate to that. When you're coming out of somewhere and you're trying to get up here and, you know, gain that's much more, you know, desire and fire than, okay, I've had it, I've tasted it, is that already let me slip, you know?
And that's probably the hunger that you've got as well, Regan. I mean, you want everything, right? And you can probably see that when you look at someone like Jack Rafferty, the same kind of mentality.
Yeah, I think I can resonate with that myself as well, coming through your small hall shows, you know what I mean? Not having that amateur experience that a lot of other fighters have, or get the stages they have, so as Nathaniel touched on earlier, we've been down in that gym, we've done rounds with all these different boys, and they're a thriving stable, do you know what I mean? I think they all want it, they're all into boxing, but Jack Rafferty's really come on the scene. Obviously he's built up an impressive record. I think that's 26 or 27 in a row, so doesn't matter what people say, you're still got to beat 26, 27 people, and his last few fights he's shown he's really big and strong, and I think obviously like this headlining his first show on DAZN and that, he's going to really show, I believe tonight he's going to really show his level. It's a tough fight. We've spoken about Mark's, I think Mark as well will be dangerous up at this weight. Mark's a big boy, so obviously came up for lightweight, so I'm really looking forward to that. But Jack Rafferty I think will definitely have a lot of hunger tonight, especially headlining close to his home. Yeah,
it's a brilliant main event that we've got coming up for you, and we've got so much more than that as well. Of course, action kicks off on DAZN live at 7:30, and it all starts with that fight between Zach Miller and Leon Woodstock. Miller, of course, the Commonwealth champion, defending his crown against Leon Woodstock, who not so long ago was flying high. He was one of the new shining lights in the Queensberry stable. Just lost his way a little bit, but looking to get back to the big time. Then we've got Olympic bronze medalist Lewis Richardson taking on Arton Sparta, fight number 2 for Lewis Richardson. And then this one, I've got to tell you, I am excited. Every time I see this man's name on a bout sheet, I think we're going to get fireworks. Jack Turner, unbeaten in 11 fights, 10 wins by knockout, takes on another man who is an 11-0 in Muguruza there. And I've got to get your thoughts on Jack Turner. Ryan, you've seen a bit of Jack Turner, right? I mean, just an exciting young man.
Yeah, like I said before, people that weight, you don't normally bang people out as much as that. Do you know what I mean? Having 10 knockouts and 11 wins, he must have something in his hands. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was speaking to part of his training team, Russ Abner, and he's been in the game 40 years. And he said the only smaller guy that he's seen with heavy hands like that is Naoya Inoue. So it's good company to be in, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I've seen Jack a few times, and actually him being down on weight is going to be even more dangerous, because the guys he's knocking out to get these knockouts for the last 11 fights has been at bantamweight or super bantamweight or whatever weight he wants, because he's got dynamite in his hands. So, and actually I think, out with even the fact that he can punch, is he just doesn't care who's in front of him. He really wants to hurt whoever's there. So
yeah, there is that kind of aura. There's almost kind of crazy eyes about him as well. You're talking to him and you're kind of feeling me anyway. I'm feeling like he wants to punch me. I hope he never does. That'll be the end of DAZN guys as well.
He might do, mate. If he keeps staring at his press conference, he might turn on you. You never know.
One day. Look, he might do. But I think what we're going to do now, thank you so much, Regan, and best of luck to you on October the 4th. And you guys get yourself back to commentary. And you guys, we're going to head over to Thomas Triber.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Dimitri Dima Prokounas.
Dimitri Prokounas of Estonia. The last time we saw him on a Queensberry show was when he gave Lewis Richardson his debut on that special but very rainy night at Portman Road.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Jack Power.
Well, the noise has just gone up a notch in here, because on his way to the ring is this man, Jack Power of Runcorn, 5-0 as a pro and trained by Paul Smith. It's fair to say he's in very good hands indeed. We last saw him on the undercard of Nick Ball versus TJ Doheny back in March, and he nearly got his man out of there, and I'm sure he'll be trying to do plenty more of that this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riot Season, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, 32 Red, and Unibet. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Darren Sargentson. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with black lettering and weighed in officially at 162.3 pounds. Coming to us from Narva, Estonia, he is a veteran of 30 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dimitri Dima Prokounas. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 162.4 pounds. Hailing from Runcorn, England, he is undefeated with 5 wins, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jack Power!
Fellas, you both know the rules. Keep it clean. Nothing low. Watch your heads. And when I say break, take a step back. Most importantly, defend yourself at all times.
Well, this is our final fight on the prelims before the main broadcast starts live on DAZN from 7:30. And Jack Power boxing out of that blue corner with the black shorts, and Dimitri Prokounas boxing out of the red corner in the white shorts. And Power straight on that front foot and showing that he is the aggressor.
I think we're the team that they call when Power and Cairns and that are fighting, Darren.
There's a bit of a theme, isn't there?
I think so.
It's this duo. But can I just say, what a name for a boxer.
Love it. I love it. You need to back that up there. That's not even a nickname, that is your full name.
You got to be carrying some lead in them fists in you.
There's certainly some good branding. Good steady start here from Jack Power. Dimitri Protkunas, we've seen him plenty of times over here in the UK. Last time we saw him was on the undercard of Fabio Wardley's explosive knockout win against Justice Hooney when he fought Lewis Richardson, when it absolutely poured at Portman Road. And here he is again in a very cold Altrincham at Planet Ice, and the guys can back me up on that.
Yeah, I had to put my jumper on, do you know what I mean, midway through that round. It is very, very cold in here tonight.
It's like the meme you used to see, can you do it on a cold night in Stoke?
Can you do it on a cold night in Altrincham?
Yeah, that's
it. What a brilliant line. I'm gutted I didn't think of that one myself.
Started well, Power here.
Yeah, he's cemented a nice little jab early on in this round. Just got to be careful because I can't pronounce his name, to be fair.
Dimitri Protkunas,
yeah,
from Estonia.
I'll leave that one to you, but yeah, he can be dangerous, you know what I mean, so he's got to be careful there.
Well, speaking to Thomas Stalker, who manages Jack Power this week, and he once spoke about how well followed he is from all his crew in Runcorn, but said he's good, he's solid, he's got good shot selection, goes to the body well, he's really excited about him. So we'll see what he can do here this evening.
Yeah, he's got good punch variety, and like we're saying, he started solid, started good behind the jab, good behind the 1-2. I'd like to see him, you know, not chase this guy around the ring and actually step across him, because he seems to be following him when he gets on the ropes.
Yeah, it's very hard though. As we were saying earlier about when you get these journeymen over, some of them they just go into a shell, and look at this round, he hasn't very thrown that much his opponent, has he? So it's going to be hard for him to open him up here. But this is where you got to draw the feint to trigger the shots and then draw the lead in, and then make them open it yourself.
Where do you get that when you've got, you know, we've had a really, really good couple of away corner fighters tonight. Darwin Martinez, we couldn't have sung his praises any higher. Yeah. He's great because most of the time he comes to fight, he throws every shot of 100%, and then somebody like Dimitri Protkunas, he so far looks extremely negative. So as a fighter, how do you get yourself up for that? How do you get some energy in your body?
You almost need to make them fight, so it's either, you know, high work rate, put the shots together. They don't necessarily need to be super hard, but, you know, put the shots together head and body and try and draw them into a bit of a dogfight. Or kind of like Charlie Senior done, is let them throw a couple of shots at you and, you know, see if you can open them up a bit and give them a bit of confidence, and then take it away from them again.
Yeah, I think the fact you've hit the nail on the head. Sometimes you've got to let them grow in confidence a bit, for them to just maybe, I know it sounds stupid, but let them hit you a few times, let them grow in confidence, and then they might let their hands go, and that's when you lead the openings, and that's when they start, then they make their mistakes, and that's when you got to counter them and make them pay, really.
And I guess that's all the experience that these early fights gives these fighters on their way up. This is bout number 6 for Jack Power. And he starts his second round again on the front foot. Just popping that jab out, going to the body.
Yeah, it was a nice body shot there. Like I say, after that, sink him into the body, then whip it back up to the head. Do you know what I mean? Not just finishing on the body. You've got to try different things with people like this. You know, when they're negative, you just got to try different things, like different attacks, not always doing the same attacks, coming in the same straight lines. You know what I mean? Different angles as you come in. Just got to keep mixing it up, man. That's all you can do.
Nathaniel, does Power need to cut the ring off a little bit more?
Yeah, that's what I kind of noticed in the first round, as, you know, Dimitri's only going the one way, he's only circling around the ring. If you can kind of step across and take that only exit out, it might be, you know, put him into a panic, put him into a kind of position where he needs to come forward rather than just circling round.
Nice uppercut that was lovely.
Really well timed, wasn't it?
Just step back, literally, just on the tip of his range, step back and brought that up as he throw a lazy jab. That was perfect. like we were saying earlier, sometimes in these fighters you've got to give them confidence, bring them onto you, let them throw, and like you say, as he just did then, he let him throw, and that's when he counted, and they leave openings then.
Do you know what, I've asked a lot of fighters, you know, similar questions about when I've been commentating when there's more of a negative fighter in there, and I really like what you said, that with letting them build a bit of confidence in themselves, because they're more likely to make a mistake than, aren't they?
No, 100%. Like you say, you got to let them kid themselves. Do you know what I mean? Let them grow in confidence and let them feel that they're coming into the fight, even though they're not. You know, at the back of your mind, you know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? There's a method beyond the madness, I'd like to say. Bring them on, let them grow confidence, and like he just did with the uppercut just a minute ago, he brought them onto it as he threw a lazy jab.
And the thing is with someone like Kunis is he's a type of fighter that if you allow him to, and you don't really dig in and let your hands go with him and just kind of let him off the hook, that he could honestly do 12, 15 rounds like this, because it will just keep going round and round and round, won't he?
Definitely, and it's you know, I keep going back to Charlie Senior, but he done the right thing coming into like the 4th and the 5th round, where, you know, when Martinez wasn't throwing, he just threw, then he threw, and then he threw again, and you can't just throw your 1-2 and then wait on this guy throwing his 1-2 and then you go again, and it's not a you go I go type thing. It's like you need to hit him again, like the single shot's not good enough.
Brian, what do you think they're going to be saying to Jack in that corner there?
It depends. If it was me, look, like you say, you got to start, instead of doing the same pace all the time, do you know what I mean, and just going in a straight line, see when he's there back on the ropes, change the angle yourself, create them openings yourself, do you know what I mean? At the moment it just seems to be going in a straight line, do you know what I mean, throwing the straight shots, the basic, do you know, just the standard shot, as you're coming in, quicken the feet up, change the angle, and then it creates openings, do you know what I mean, because then your opponent don't know where the shots are coming from. But even like, I was thinking to myself, listen, every fight is different. Have you seen Lomachenko before? Do you know, like he was there in front of him, he drags the hands down, pulls the hands down yourself, and then you create the opening yourself, do you know what I mean? Because he's got a high guard, he's got his hands like, do as what like Lomachenko would do, get close, get there, pull the hand down yourself, and then you can hook over the top, do you know what I mean? You're making them openings yourself.
So with a fighter like Brock Kunis, the basics don't quite cut it, do you? You need to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah, and if you're hoping to progress in this game, you know, the harsh reality is the basics won't cut it, and you do need to do something a bit different, and, you know, a single shot isn't good enough. You know, even the...
See there, like, you should create the angle there. Sorry, Nathaniel, but like there, you just instead of fighting in front of him, create the angle, mate. Sorry, mate.
No, that's... See, he needs to go again there.
Yeah, 2 phases of attack. Do you know what I mean? He's done the straight 1-2, then bring in 1-2, and then say you're right, and then whip it downstairs or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You can't just always go head hunting. You've got to mix your attacks with fighters like this, head, body, head.
A couple of times, Dimitri Kunis has complained about shots being a bit low and keeps shaking his head. Referee Darren Siverson doesn't think the shots were low.
And that's a sign, that's always a sign of somebody who, you know, doesn't necessarily want to be there. And
it's an uncomfortable sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like say, when people start making it, like, moaning about things, instead of getting on with it, it shows that they're uncomfortable.
You know, as a fighter learning on the job, you need to recognise these signs of, look, he's tapping.
I must admit, I did look a little bit like that. It
did look
a little bit, yeah.
If the ref's not saying anything about it,
you just got
to crack on, definitely. Actually, you should be taking the advantage of him tapping his belt and saying that's low and throwing. Like you say, if the ref isn't saying anything in there, it's a fight at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It gets nitty and gritty in there. It's all part of the learning experience. You just got to get on with it.
The amount of times that I've seen fighters complain to referees.
See there, change the angles. You know what I mean? It's just to the front of us. Change the angle, change your legs. Like you say, he's doing the basics very well, but the basics, once you start stepping up the level, the basics only get you so far. Do you know what I mean? You need to do that something different. Do you know what I mean?
Good head movement there from Power. And it's a spitting image of the previous rounds with Brock Kunis, who's just doing exactly the same thing over and over again. Throwing the odd shot back, moving about, soaking up the shots as best he can. hard to look good against a guy like this.
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously we are here and this is what we're here to do, is look at the fight and criticise it, or not criticise it, but point out what we can see. And, you know, Jack is doing very well. He's doing the basics right, like Ryan's saying. He's doing all the right things, so we can only pick up what else further you can do and add to that game. But don't get it twisted, he is doing well and he is doing the right things. It's just these small margins of things that he could be doing better or doing different that might, you know, increase the kind of performance he's putting on.
Yeah, and going back to the angle stuff which you've spoken about, Ryan, just right at the end of the round there, the first time I'd seen him do it, he kind of sort of made himself a bit taller and a bit bigger and then come down rather than coming straight through, and he's starting to try little bits and pieces, but it just needs a bit more.
Yeah, mate, like you say, I just think he needs to, like you say, obviously the angles I've already pointed out, but the phases as well, do you know what I mean? He's throwing the straight 1-2 and that's it, do you know what I mean? You got to do the twos, the threes, and singles on its own, but like one after another, do you know what I mean? The phases, that's how you break people down.
Do you think that sometimes, you know, like a fighter like Jack Power done an awful amount of tickets, loads of support on a big show, bright lights, you know, lots of people watching. Do you think sometimes he can feel the pressure and don't want to make any mistakes or take any too big risks, and that's why they'll stick to the basics?
I think he's already, you know, from the last time we've seen him, he had a big fan base there as well, and I think it's something that if you've got a big fan base, you've probably fought in front of them all before, even whether it's amateur or whatever your background is. So it doesn't look like he's under pressure. It doesn't look like he's, you know, not trying to put a foot out of the line. He is going for it. I'd quite like to see him, you know, plant his feet and just dig, them hard shots in.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, it's hard, isn't it, to look good against someone who just covers up all night long. Do you know what I mean? I think once the opponents start increasing and that Jack Power will start looking better against them, do you know what I mean? Once opponents start trying to take your head off, and then you can start drawing the lead and countering them. Do you know what I mean? It's hard when someone like your opponent, just like we were saying earlier, just tucks up all night and you've got to draw the openings. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and I've got to say there's a bit more urgency from Power as he's come out in this round. Just stepped it up ever so slightly.
That was a good uppercut there. Nice
Lovely.
shot.
Yeah, good shots these are from Power.
That's it. See them
changing the levels.
Yeah, see that dip of the legs there. Change it up. Not giving your opponent not knowing where they're attacking the shots are coming from.
Yeah, definitely. He's setting his feet a bit more, and he's trying to push through the legs, and he's landing them powerful shots.
Pun intended.
I should have said shots with power. I was too slow there. It's the cold, guys. It's getting to me.
Yeah, he's a bit nippy.
Brain freeze.
Can he do it on a cold night in Ultra?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I could, mate. Honestly. Nah, fair play.
Let's hope nobody gets caught cold tonight.
Oh, here we go. Dad jokes have arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
Showing his age now, isn't he?
That's it. Been around for too long.
As we're starting to get further on in the fight now, do you know what I mean? I feel like Power should start going through the gears, do you know what I mean? Like you say, that's what I found in my career, as when I was fighting the journeyman. The thing that done them, they're tough as anything. The thing that done them most is fitness, if you know what I mean. You're on them, you don't let them breathe. And then,
consistency,
yeah,
isn't it?
they gas out. So Power, if he starts going through the levels, do you know what I mean, up in the gears, and you can potentially get him out of it, maybe, do you know what I mean?
Definitely a high work rate is normally what stops people at this level, and you also need to, you know, think to yourself, it's only a 6-rounder. You know, it's in the grand scheme of things, you're training hard in the gym. It's not a lot of time. It's what, 18 minutes or something. You know, I don't know. I'm not good at maths.
Yeah. Let's say, like you, I know what you point out. Like when you're doing 12 rounders, you have got to take your time. But with the 6 rounders, you can go through the gears. You know what I mean? Before you know it, it's over. So you might as well just put all into it.
But I'll tell you what, a much better round in my opinion from Jack Power. Sinking in the shots there. Some good observations from you guys where he was changing the levels, creating the angles. I don't know if there's going to be enough time for him to get him out of there, but he's kind of just ever so slightly just up the tempo as the rounds have gone by.
Yeah, definitely. He kind of the first half of that round there, he planted his feet a bit more. He was generating power through his legs. The last half of that, round there he started putting them together in combination, so he is doing the right things and he is moving in the right direction, but just more of that in the next 2 rounds we need to see.
And Brock Kunis, he's got a nice red mark under his eyes, so he's been caught with a few shots, but someone like him, Ryan, he's just been there so many times, hasn't he? And he knows how to ride the punches.
Yeah, mate, like you say, he's got a high guard as well, so it could be where he's taking him on the gloves. Do you know what I mean? The glove hitting himself in the face sometimes. I've had that before with sparring. Do you have a high guard? The red mark on your face is from them punching your glove and it hitting against your face. But yeah, like you say, he's very tough, very durable. He doesn't get hit clean much, if you know what I mean. He doesn't open himself up as much. So it's going to be hard for Power to get the stoppage here. But the main thing is, like you say, looking good, mix it up, body to head, not getting caught with stupid shots there like he just did. Yeah, that's it, lovely. See that? Lovely. He's sinking him in there, mix it from body to head. That was lovely.
And something we should really clearly mark out is, Power might not be. Well, he hasn't looked like he's going to stop him up until, I guess, now, but he's clearly winning, isn't he? Comfortably winning.
He's easily winning, and actually, a takeaway I would take from that is Dimitri only throws 1 shot in return. So if you're ready to catch that shot, you could be returning with 3s and 4s, and there's not much coming back.
He's slowly starting up at Power as well. As you see, he seems to be planting his feet a lot more this round. He's digging the shots, and look there, he wants to get the job done. He's sinking him in more. Do you know what I mean? He's looking a lot better this round. But as I say that, Demetrius, or whatever his name is, he seems like he's coming into himself a bit now. Do you know what I mean? He's marching forward with his guard up. He's looking like he's wanting to throw a bit more, so he's getting a little bit of confidence. It's going to turn into a good little fight, this.
It has got increasingly better as the rounds have gone by, and it takes 2 to tango, doesn't it? So,
but this will do him the world of good. Do you know what I mean? When you got an opponent like this marching forward, trying to give some back, he'll learn more in this round than he has in the previous 4.
Yeah, definitely. Credit enough to Power as well, because it would have been easy to just outbox this guy the way he was boxing in the first round and have an easy night's work, and it's not necessarily entertaining, but a win's a win, and he would have cracked on after that. But he's kept progressing as the rounds went on, and tried to step it up, and you can see clearly he wants to win by stoppage.
That's it. I feel like he needs to double them jabs up sometimes. He's just throwing single, pouring single with that. Double the jab up, then you can whip that uppercut in there as he dips his knees. Just make the attacks a little less more predictable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. And he's literally just pawing with his jab to try and set up.
Sometimes stiff, sometimes line up something else. Just mix it all up.
And he's cutting the ring off nicely now, his Power.
Yep.
Big step to his right of his right foot there. Gave Prokunas nowhere to go. Plenty more of that.
Like I say, he's got just over a round left. Now he start going through the gears. Do you know what I mean? He got caught with a nice one there. That's where he's got to be careful though. Chin in the air as he's coming in, so he's got to be careful.
Well, I tell you what, if Prokunas had been fighting like he did in the last 10 seconds there, the rest of the fight, we would have had a screamer on our hands, wouldn't we? Well, great action we've had so far, but coming up at 7:30 live on DAZN, Miller versus Woodstock for the Commonwealth Featherweight Championship. It's been a great build-up to that, and we look forward to that one. And then Team GB, Olympian and bronze medalist Lewis Richardson in against Sparta, and then Liverpool's knockout artist Jack Turner in with a tough 11-0 undefeated Argentine. And then of course it's the big one, Jack Rafferty versus Mark Chamberlain. But the action doesn't stop there, because once Rafferty and Chamberlain has come to completion, there are another couple of bouts back over on DAZN and on the Queensberry feeds.
Yeah, Power's won every round in my books so far, all 5 of them. So he just needs to be careful this round, because Demetrius could be a bit dangerous sometimes. As we see earlier, he throws them haymakers, single punches. So he's just got to be careful. Keep doing what he's doing in the previous rounds, and just, like I say, do nothing stupid. I like what I just see just a minute ago though. See, like when he throws a jab single on his own, but do you know when you lead with the left hook then the straight right because it opens the guard up, if you know what I mean. He's just done it just a minute ago and it landed perfect. So like you say, just keep mixing up, not doing the same thing every time, not being as predictable.
I think Power's just got better bit by bit as each kind of section of the round has gone by, and he's grown in confidence as well. And that's good. Good head and body and head. Kind of all the stuff you guys were wanting a bit more of. He's trying to deliver that.
He does it, but then like he might admire his work a bit, if you know what I mean. So they're doing it, digging him in on the tip of his range and going again straight away. Do you know what I mean? That's how you break these kind of opponents down. But other than that, he's literally he's cruising to a victory here. He's looked very good. Lovely whipping it from head to the body there. Nice head movement as well.
Certainly what you want from him in these types of fights is he's learning on the job as he goes. Each round, almost, you can see it in real time.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, with each round, it feels like he's getting better and better. He's getting more confident, you know what I mean, more relaxed, and picking his shots even better each round. That's a sign of a good fighter there, do you know what I mean? Being able to change it up, mix up what they're doing, and get better as the fight goes around.
He's strong as well as Power. When Kunis tries to get hold of him, he gets rid of him very, very quick, and then you can tell he don't want to, be tied up at any point. He just wants to have that space and get his shots away. She's doing well.
That's it. Last 45 seconds, you should just go through the gears. I mean, but also be careful as he's going and not get caught with nothing stupid, unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? Nice body shots there.
Yeah, good right hand up stairs and then follow up the left. Yeah, he's just got a little nick there. So he's
got to be careful. Do you know what I mean? As you come in with these journeymen, do you know what I mean? They throw elbows out there by accident, not meaning to, but. Sure.
It always seems to happen in the last 20 seconds or 30 seconds. You always get caught.
Get too close, don't they? Get too close. You just want to get him out of there. Then just little heads or elbows.
A good strong finish there from Jack Power, who has steadily gone through the gears in this fight.
Yeah, very, very all-rounded good performance. You know what I mean, very convincing with that. Do you know what I mean?
Super convincing, and looking at it in a really positive way. There's lots he did do well, but fights like this are the types of fights which you can watch back, and there's loads that him and his team learned from this, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. That's as you go through the levels in the game, you come up against different guys, and there could be a potential that when you get to title level, you hurt a guy and he goes into his shell and he totally backs off, and you can dig back to this fight and go, you know what did I do against this guy when he covered up, what did I do against that guy when he covered up. That's what these fights are all about, and the purpose of them.
Well, Thomas Triber has the scores, so we'll head over to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Darren Sargentson, scores the contest 60-54 for your winner. And still undefeated, Jack Power!
With a massive increase in noise as Jack Power has his hand raised, and he now poses for pictures, but I'm sure there'll be a bit of a debrief in the changing rooms afterwards, and it's got some great people in that corner. Paul Smith obviously been there and done it and knows exactly what it's like to fight people like Kunis.
Yeah, great fighter, great coach. He's somebody you want in your corner, a lot of experience. He's been in and about it at the top level, and not only himself but with his brothers, he's not short of a bit of knowledge.
And that is so valuable to have somebody like that with you every step of the way. But a good performance overall.
Yeah, I believe it's hard, isn't it, like we said earlier about opponents that cover up. I think Power, he will come into his own and look even better once he's got an opponent coming onto him, do you know what I mean, and him drawing the lead, that's when I think he'll look even better power.
Well, he joins Dev Sani now, so we'll head over to there.
Jack Power, you've done it again. Another fight, another win. How was that one for you?
Good, I enjoyed it. Been learning a lot with Paul, my new trainer, in the gym. So it's just about putting that together, what we've been learning in the gym.
Are you feeling the improvements coming along as you're going? Because that's fight 6 in your career now, fight 6, fight 7. You feeling the improvements?
Definitely, yeah. All the hours in the gym and things like that, and Paul, his knowledge is unbelievable, and you know, he's constantly on my case trying to get things right, and you know, I'm still learning, trying to put it, what we've been learning in the gym, put it into the ring.
Well, you're in very safe hands with Paul Smith. Paul, great to see you. Very good, and he's very good as well. Jack Power, how do you reflect on Jack's performance tonight?
I'm happy with him. He's learning in the gym. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a fair bit to unlearn. A few bad habits from probably his old amateur days and early pro days. It all creeps in. We've got to try and get rid of that. But I keep just all we're working on in the gym is the basics, and all I wanted to see tonight was the basics. And the more he does the basics right, the better he'll become as a fighter. Got to stay switched on. Got to have a good jab. Look at the size of him for the middleweight. You know, he's a big lad, so he should be utilising that. Keeping control of the ring, keeping the centre of the ring, and being the boss in there. And sometimes he lets his mind get carried away and doesn't do that. But stay positive tonight. Good 6 rounds, or winning all 6 rounds as well, and onward to the next one.
Still so early in his career as well. There's so much more of this journey to come. You must be excited for what is to come in the future of Jack Power.
Yeah, listen, I said when Jack come and asked me, we had a chat about training and working together, and I wasn't training fighters, and for Jack, he's such a nice lad. I said, you know what, Jack, I'm interested. I was waiting to get my own gym. I was waiting for the perfect moment, and to help Jack, because he's such a nice lad. You know, once you get to know him and get to know what he's like without blowing smoke up him too much while he's here, like he'll be getting it again on Monday in the gym, but I want it up because he's such a nice lad, and if he can have a good career after boxing, he's worked so hard, he saved his country in the services, and if he can work hard in his professional career and have a good professional career, and I can help him along doing that, then I'll help him.
Sounds good, right?
Definitely, yeah. All about it. Just keep learning in the gym, keep my head down, listening to Paul, Paul and my manager Tom Stalker, and just keep doing working hard.
Congratulations, you can't go far wrong with Paul Smith here. Paul, let me just kick you for one quickly. Just a word on the main event. Jack Rafferty, Mark Chamberlain, you know, British and Commonwealth titles on the line as well. Must be one that you're excited about.
Yeah, definitely. Rafferty's been in the gym, Jack, sparring with a few lads in the gym. We all training, me and my brother Stephen and John Gillies, and had a couple of his lads. And he's an animal for the weight. You forget the weight he's at. He's sparring lads 2 weights every day, and he's holding his own. And he's just naturally so strong and so fit, and he puts the work and he works really hard, and I can't see past him tonight. I know I saw your interview yesterday where you were asking people and you were sitting on the fence yourself, but I just can't see past the Rafferty win tonight. Chamberlain's a good lad, he's a lovely lad as well, but I just think tonight, the strength will show in the end, and Rafferty will take over.
Let me bring in Liam as well. To see Liam Smith here, we've got a real Smith.
It's good being the slim brother for once.
Liam, great to see you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you? Good,
very good. Just speaking to Paul about the main event, he's excited about it. Rafferty, Chamberlain. Rafferty's been up in the rotunda doing a little bit of work there as well. What are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight stylistically wise. You know, I think again with Rafferty, Chamberlain likes to fight. I think it'll end up a war. I've known Jack Rafferty for a number of years now. I was just sparring when I was up at Joe Gallagher's gym, and he's found a great run of form, and I said it's mad now because I think he's found his niche, like a style, what he's good at, you know, and it's always like I'll break you before you break me, if that makes sense. And you know, he's massive for the weight, and like I say, he's on a great run of form, so it's one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, the show's called Make or Break, and when I've put that to Jack Rafferty, he said, not for me it's break or be broken. So he's got a bit of attitude about him as well.
Yeah, he has. As you said before, he's going to break you before you break him. I think that's his attitude all the time.
And someone who is breaking many fighters right now is young Jack Turner, super flyweight. I mean, everything he hits just seems to crumble in front of him. He's back tonight as well. What are you thinking on him, Paul?
As soon as you say his name, me and him smile and start laughing because We know what he's like. He's round the bend, and the way he fights, his power is frightening. And you're watching sometimes thinking maybe it'll fizzle out when he starts getting against the tough journeyman. No, it didn't fizzle out. He's blown away. Then maybe when people come and have a go and actually there to win with good records, no, he blew them out as well. And tonight he's got a lad 10-0 or 11-0, who's here from Argentina, brought his own fans over as well. So he's definitely up for the but the kid's power is scary. He's got some potential.
He looks like a special talent, Liam.
He is. I said after the debut, ever said, you know, enjoy the ride, because regardless of, you know, how far he goes, it's going to be exciting while he's here. It's got scary knockout power for that weight. You know, you don't see knockouts like he's producing at that weight. I've seen it for years with him in the gym. You know, I've been doing training camps with him for a couple of years now, and I've seen many people who we've done sparring and fighting, and like I said before, enjoy the ride while we've got him, because it's going to be some exciting fights.
It feels like the Liverpool torch of boxing is slowly being passed to the likes, you know, from you guys to the likes of Nick Ball, to the likes of Jack Turner coming through as well.
The younger lads.
I guess so. I mean, I'm sorry, but it feels like they might be the guys, Liam.
Yeah, and you know, they have to be. You know, we're all coming to an end now. Callum's still flying the flag, but you know, we need big nights in Liverpool, big, you know, World Championship boxing, and Nick Ball's producing that now, and we need the next crowd to come through after Nick, and you know, with the likes of your Jack Turner, Jazzy Dickens just had a great win. You know, we seem to be on the up, so it's exciting times for Liverpool again.
Brilliant stuff, Liam. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul. Thank you so much. Great to see you both. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're going to swap you over. We're going to bring in the Piranha, who is returning, and the Nightmare. So the Piranha's back. The Nightmare's back. Gentlemen, well done both of you on your commentary tonight. I've enjoyed it. How have you found it, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I loved it. You know, I need to do as good as I can when I get these gigs, so I can get them again when I'm done.
I think you'll be invited back. I think you'll be invited back as well, Ryan.
I hope so, mate. Like I say, Nathaniel's done it before. It's my first time doing commentary. First fight, it's hard to, you know, just get your bearings, but once I got into it, Do you know what I mean?
I want to get your final thoughts on two fights in particular. The first one being, of course, Leon Woodstock will be taking on Zach Miller, Commonwealth title fight. Right now, where are you with this one?
I'm going to go with Zach Miller win. Points win. I think just Zach's been the more active, and I've sparred him myself. I've never been with Leon, so I can't say what he's about, but I know Zach's a very good fighter. Like I say, he's been the more active. He's been in with good opposition of recent. So yeah, I'm going to go with Zach Miller. He's a good fighter. And
you've shared the ring with Zach Miller as well. Is that where your head's at?
Yeah, I think Zach's a good fighter. He's got all the tools to keep his distance, to outbox Leon, frustrate him. You know, he doesn't get sucked into, you know, the words, the fights, the mask, you know, all the excess stuff. So he's a cool operator, and I think he'll do the business.
And I don't think I've got a Rafferty Chamberlain prediction from you yet. I know I got one out of Ryan yesterday. He might have changed his mind. We'll find out in a second. But what about you? Where are you on that one?
You know what? I'm going to go with, I think, Rafferty by stoppage. I'm going to say, because I just think he's going to be too big. I think he's going to be too relentless, and you know, whether it was down to the weight or not, we've seen Chamberlain get dropped against Padley, and Rafferty's a much bigger guy. Padley's now went down to super feather, so it's like all the signs are pointing at that.
It's true. Is that how you're kind of seeing it? I mean, you know Mark Chamberlain, you know it must have lit a fire in him what happened with the Josh Padley defeat.
Yeah, like you say, he's going to come into this fight hungry and wanted to prove a point, but he's moving up a weight. He's in the back. He's in the lion's den. Like I say, I'm going to still stick with Rafferty. Yeah, like I say, the momentum's behind him. He's a good fighter. He's big. He's strong. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Rafferty, mate.
Okay, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Me.
Yeah, of course, every time. Nathaniel, brilliant as well from you. We'll see you on October the 4th in Greyhead. Just a quick one on that. Are you, what's the plan there? What are you going to do with Cristobal Lorenzo?
You know what? I'm going to knock him out.
Simple as that. Simple as that, mate.
I'm going to knock him out.
He's not beating around the bush.
I mean, that's more than you said at the presser, to be fair. So I've clearly got you in there.
Because he's not here smiling at me, I don't have to deal with that. Like telling a guy he'd knock him out. No, you know what? The same kind of thing I've said all night is I'm that confident in my preparations. I'm that confident in my ability. You know, I want to show that I'm up there at that world level. So that's the way to do it.
Best of luck to you. Thank you again. Thank you, Ryan Garner. And just a reminder, we've also got 2 fights after. So head over to DAZN at 7:30 for the main show. After that, we come back here because we've got 2 more fights. Steve Clark is back, and the young Irishman, Owen Lavin, is also back. But until then, head over to DAZN. We know what the main event's all about. Jack Rafferty, Mark Chamberlain, British and Commonwealth titles here at the Altrincham Ice Dome. Who will bring the heat? Who will keep their cool? Neither man can afford a slip up. See you over at 7:30.